30 Days to Better Thinking, a Stoic's Guide to Improve Your Life Fast, Modern Stoicism. In today's fast-paced world, the way we think directly affects every decision we make, big or small. What if you could improve your mindset in just 30 days? Modern Stoicism offers a powerful way to do just that. For centuries, Stoic philosophers have taught us to face life's challenges with a calm mind and rational choices. The secret to Stoicism lies in understanding that while we can't control the world around us, we can control our reactions. This shift in thinking can transform the way we handle stress, decisions, and emotions. Over the next 30 days, we'll explore Stoic strategies that will help you think better, feel calmer, and live a more fulfilling life. Ready to unlock the power of Stoicism? Welcome to Stoic Secret. Let's get started. Number 1. Creating a gap between stimulus and response. When it comes to improving your life quickly, one of the most transformative Stoic practices you can adopt is creating a gap between stimulus and response. While this might sound deceptively simple, the space between what happens to you and how you respond can dramatically reshape your entire experience of life. The Stoics believed that our true power doesn't lie in controlling external events or circumstances, because these are beyond our control, but in how we choose to respond to them. This insight is liberating. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you reacted impulsively, in anger, frustration, or anxiety, only to look back and regret it later? These knee-jerk reactions, while natural, are often not aligned with our deeper values or the person we aspire to be. The Stoic philosophy teaches that we don't have to be slaves to these impulses. We can cultivate the ability to pause, reflect, and choose our response, rather than being swept away by emotions. I know it sounds challenging, especially when you're in the midst of a stressful situation, whether it's a sharply worded email, an unexpected confrontation, or any other irritation. But the key is in that brief pause. I urge you to try this. The next time you find yourself triggered, take just 5 seconds to breathe deeply and center yourself. During those precious moments, you create a gap, a space where you have the opportunity to decide how you want to respond, instead of reacting mindlessly. This small practice can have far-reaching consequences. It's not just about avoiding rash reactions, it's about consciously choosing responses that align with your values, your character, and your long-term goals. Stoicism encourages this mindset at all levels of decision-making, not just in moments of stress. In fact, the Stoics even recommend what they call a 24-hour rule for major decisions. This rule suggests that when faced with a significant choice, whether personal or professional, you should give yourself an entire day to reflect, to consult with someone you trust, or simply to allow your mind to settle before acting. This time of reflection helps ensure that your choices align with your core values, rather than being driven by fleeting emotions or external pressures. As Epictetus famously said, we are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. So, the next time life presents you with a challenge, pause, take a deep breath, step back, and ask yourself, what is the most thoughtful, deliberate way I can respond to this? By doing so, you begin to live in harmony with your highest principles, rather than being constantly swept along by the unpredictable tides of emotion and circumstance. The more you practice this, the more you will find yourself living with purpose, rather than merely reacting to life as it happens. Wouldn't you rather lead a life where your actions reflect your deepest values, where your decisions reflect the best version of yourself, rather than being driven by transient impulses and emotional upheavals. This is the power of creating that gap. The power to choose. The choice is yours. Will you react to life, or will you respond with intention and clarity? Number 2, practice view from above. The Stoic exercise of view from above invites us to take a step back from the hustle and turmoil of our daily lives. It encourages us to mentally rise above the immediate challenges we face and view them from a broader, higher perspective. This mental shift allows us to break free from the grip of our emotions and see life's problems as part of a larger, more interconnected whole. In a world that often feels chaotic and demanding, it's easy to get lost in the intensity of work pressures, personal conflicts, or financial struggles. Everything seems urgent, and each issue feels like an obstacle we cannot escape. However, by engaging in the view from above exercise, we begin to see that these troubles, while important, are just small pieces in the vast puzzle of existence. Imagine for a moment that you are an observer, standing far above your daily struggles, looking at your life from a bird's-eye view. From this elevated perspective, your problems appear smaller, less overwhelming, and less urgent. You begin to realize that most of the issues that seem so pressing in the moment are, in the grand scheme of things, temporary. This shift in perspective does not diminish the significance of your problems, but it enables you to see them with greater clarity. You can assess them more rationally, allowing you to prioritize what truly matters and set aside what doesn't. This practice can help you manage stress more effectively and make decisions with a calm and level-headed approach. This exercise finds its roots in the teachings of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. Both believed in the power of stepping back and adopting a wider view of life's challenges. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on his place in the grand order of nature. He famously wrote, "What is this burden on me? A momentary experience within the grand order of nature." Meditations, Book 10. This quote emphasizes how our personal struggles are part of a much larger, ongoing process. When we view our problems from the perspective of the universe's vastness, we understand that they are fleeting and that life moves on regardless of our temporary discomforts. Seneca, too, embraced a similar perspective in his Letters from a Stoic, where he advised his reader to view themselves as part of a greater whole. By doing so, individual struggles lose their weight, and we can see them for what they truly are, short-term challenges that will pass with time. He wrote, "Consider yourself as a part of a greater whole, and the transient nature of individual struggles will appear more manageable." This wisdom invites us to detach from the immediate pressures of life and adopt a broader, more peaceful outlook. By practicing the view from above regularly, we train our minds to approach problems with calmness and rationality. When faced with challenges, we are less likely to react impulsively or emotionally. Instead, we can pause, step back, and evaluate the situation from a perspective that allows for reasoned action. This habit is one of the Stoic secrets that can significantly improve our emotional resilience, enabling us to navigate the complexities of modern life with more grace and stability. Adopting the view from above gives us not only perspective but also a sense of power. It empowers us to face life's challenges with a Stoic mindset, understanding that difficulties are temporary and part of a natural cycle. Just like the seasons, the most difficult times in life will pass, and we will emerge wiser and stronger. This practice is not just an intellectual exercise, it is a tool for achieving emotional balance and making rational decisions. As we incorporate this habit into our daily lives, we move closer to mastering the Stoic art of living, cultivating peace within ourselves no matter what external challenges arise. Number 3. Practice role reversal. The Stoic practice of role reversal is a powerful mental tool that invites us to step outside of our own limited perspective and consider how someone else, whether it's a trusted mentor, a renowned historical figure, or even a character from literature, would handle the challenges we are currently facing. By intentionally imagining ourselves in the shoes of another, we can experience a shift in how we perceive our problems. Often, when we are deeply immersed in our emotions or entrenched in our own judgments, we fail to see the broader picture. Our thoughts can become clouded and the path forward appears obscured. But when we adopt a different perspective, we open ourselves up to solutions and insights that we might not have otherwise considered. Take, for example, a situation where you're facing a difficult decision or a sensitive conversation. It's easy to become wrapped up in the anxiety of the moment or to become reactive, guided by fear or frustration. But by applying the practice of role reversal, you can imagine how someone you admire, like a Stoic philosopher such as Marcus Aurelius, would approach the situation. How would he, with his profound wisdom and calm demeanor, navigate this challenge? It's highly likely that he would approach it with a sense of calm, reason, and an understanding of what is within his control. He would remind himself that while he cannot control how others react, he can always choose how to respond. By contemplating how such figures would handle the situation, we not only gain clarity but also free ourselves from the automatic reactions that often cloud our judgment. In addition to providing new insights, role reversal also helps us cultivate greater empathy for others. Imagine, for instance, you're experiencing a conflict with a colleague, a friend, or even a family member. It can be all too easy to view the situation from a self-centered perspective, focused only on our own emotions and needs. However, by putting ourselves in the other person's shoes, we begin to understand their viewpoint more fully, we gain insight into their thoughts, fears, and motivations, and we are less likely to fall into the trap of reacting out of anger or frustration. This empathy fosters emotional growth and strengthens our ability to live virtuously, which is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. As Epictetus wisely stated, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This simple yet profound idea lies at the core of the Stoic way of life. Role reversal encourages us to take a step back, observe our reactions, and reflect before acting. Instead of reacting impulsively to life's challenges, we learn to respond thoughtfully, based on reason and a clear understanding of what is truly important. Through this practice, we build emotional resilience and develop a deeper sense of inner peace, enabling us to navigate life with greater ease. By consistently practicing role reversal, we don't just learn to manage specific situations more effectively, we also cultivate the mental and emotional flexibility necessary to face a wide variety of challenges with grace. This technique not only empowers us to solve problems, but also provides us with the tools to live more deliberately and authentically. It's more than just a mental exercise. It's a transformative practice that opens the door to living a life filled with virtue, understanding, and fulfillment. Number 4. Managing emotions and not letting them control your decisions. One of the most profound teachings in Stoic philosophy is that we are not defined by our emotions, but by how we choose to respond to them. Emotions such as anger, sadness, and anxiety are natural and can be overwhelming. However, Stoics teach us that these emotions don't have to dictate our behavior. Instead, it's our conscious choice in how we react to them that truly defines us. Have you ever been swept up in anger during a stressful meeting or felt anxiety before a big event? The automatic response might be to lash out or let fear control your actions, but the Stoic secret lies in interrupting that knee-jerk reaction. The first step is to simply name the emotion. When you feel anger or anxiety, pause and say, "I am feeling angry," or "I am feeling anxious." This simple act creates a mental space between you and the emotion, reminding you that emotions are fleeting, not permanent. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of them." Recognizing this allows you to break free from being a slave to your emotional reactions. To put this into practice, imagine having a heated conversation with a colleague. As frustration builds, many would react impulsively with anger. But what if, in that moment, you paused and acknowledged the emotion? By simply labeling the emotion, "This is anger," you separate yourself from it. Instead of allowing it to control you, you take a deep breath, slow your reaction, and choose your response thoughtfully. This isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about recognizing them and then deciding how to engage with the situation. The key Stoic practice here is the pause. Before reacting, take a moment to breathe. This gives your rational mind time to catch up with your emotions, providing clarity and reminding you that you have control over how to respond. By practicing this pause, you can avoid impulsive reactions and instead make choices that align with your values, rather than being driven by emotions. Managing your emotions becomes one of the most liberating aspects of Stoicism, offering freedom and resilience. How can you apply this in your own life? Start by noticing when strong emotions arise. Is it anger, fear, or frustration? Once you've identified the emotion, pause and name it. Then, ask yourself, what would my best self choose to do in this situation? This simple exercise can transform the way you navigate life's challenges, helping you approach them with a calm, rational mind, even when the emotional storms around you are overwhelming. These Stoic principles are not just abstract ideas, they are practical tools for building emotional resilience. Imagine how much more at peace you could feel if you learned to step back from your emotions instead of letting them dictate your actions. By creating space between yourself and your emotions, you empower yourself to make better choices. You have the power to manage your emotions and not let them control you, leading a life rooted in strength and clarity. Reflect on this. The next time you feel an intense emotion, pause and name it. Practice the Stoic secret of emotional mastery and experience the freedom that comes with choosing your responses. How might your life change if you practiced this daily? How could it improve your relationships, work, and inner peace? The Stoic practice of emotional management is a journey, starting with the simple yet powerful act of naming what you feel and deciding how to act. The takeaway is simple: you are not your emotions. They are temporary, and with practice you can rise above them. Your reactions, not your feelings, define your life. The more you practice this Stoic secret, the more you will lead a life of purpose, clarity, and strength. As you move forward, you'll discover that emotional mastery is not just about controlling feelings, it's about mastering yourself and your destiny. So, when life throws something unexpected your way, remember, you have the tools to stay calm, respond thoughtfully, and live with resilience and peace. If you've made it this far, it means you're truly tuning into the deeper wisdom that modern Stoicism has to offer. You're not just watching, you're reflecting, learning, and growing. Now, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, type, "I choose my response," to show your commitment to mastering your emotions and living with intention. It's a small but powerful declaration that you're ready to take control, not of the world, but of yourself. Number 5. Analyzing decisions rationally. One of the core principles of modern Stoicism is the unwavering commitment to making rational decisions. The Stoics, philosophers who believed in the power of inner strength and self-discipline, emphasized that our choices should not be governed by passing emotions, but should be guided by clear, logical thinking. If you aspire to live a life filled with wisdom, it is crucial to make decisions that are rooted in reason and not in transient emotional impulses. When making decisions, big or small, it's easy to get swept away by fleeting feelings like excitement, fear, or desire, but the Stoic approach encourages us to think more deeply and critically. One of the most effective tools for doing this is the pros and cons list. When faced with an important decision, writing down the benefits and drawbacks can help you visualize the situation in a more objective way. This exercise provides a clear overview, allowing you to assess the situation without the distortion of biases or emotional triggers. For example, if you're contemplating a major life change, such as a career move, simply listing the pros and cons can provide much-needed clarity and prevent you from making an impulsive decision based on initial excitement or fear. Another Stoic practice that can help in decision-making is the worst-case scenario technique. This method is not about expecting the worst, but rather about preparing yourself mentally and emotionally for any potential negative outcomes. By imagining the worst-case scenario, you help yourself better understand what could go wrong, and in doing so, you reduce the anxiety that often accompanies making important decisions. Surprisingly, when you take a moment to consider the worst possible outcome, it often doesn't seem as overwhelming or catastrophic as your mind may have made it out to be. This simple mental exercise can help you feel more in control, enabling you to approach decisions with greater clarity and confidence. The purpose here is not to avoid risk altogether, but to make decisions that are in alignment with your values and long-term goals, ensuring that you take thoughtful, deliberate steps forward rather than acting on impulse or fear. In everyday life, it's common for our fears and desires to dictate our actions, leading us to make choices that are driven by momentary emotions. However, Stoicism offers a powerful antidote to this. By incorporating rational analysis into your decision-making process, you can prevent your emotions from taking the reins. This approach doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. Rather, it's about finding balance and ensuring that reason remains your guide, even when emotions are running high. Through consistent practice of these Stoic techniques, you build a habit of making more informed, thoughtful decisions. Over time, this helps you stay aligned with your deeper values and long-term aspirations, even when faced with difficult situations. Incorporating Stoic practices into your decision-making can fundamentally change the way you approach life. The key to a fulfilling life lies not in the events that unfold, but in our response to them. Modern Stoicism emphasizes this idea. Our happiness, success, and sense of peace are shaped not by external circumstances, but by our ability to react rationally and effectively. When we approach decisions with clear reasoning, we can navigate life with resilience, wisdom, and purpose. So ask yourself, how often do you let emotions cloud your judgment? How often do your fears or desires dictate your actions? What small steps can you take today to make decisions that are grounded in reason rather than impulse? By taking the time to pause, reflect, and engage in clear logical thinking, you can make choices that serve you well not only in the moment, but in the bigger picture of your life. Number 6. Learning to face uncertainty. Uncertainty is part of life. It always has been, and always will be. But here's where modern Stoicism shines. Instead of fearing the unknown, it teaches us to face it with strength, wisdom, and resilience. The Stoics, from Marcus Aurelius to Epictetus, didn't try to avoid uncertainty. They saw it as a natural part of life and believed the key to peace and fulfillment wasn't in avoiding the unknown, but in learning how to meet it with courage and composure. When we resist uncertainty, we create stress and fear. But when we accept it, we start to realize that we don't need certainty to be calm. We just need to focus on what we can control, our response. One of the best Stoic tools for this is a simple mental exercise I call the what-if game. The next time you face an uncertain situation, ask yourself, what if things go right, and what if they don't? What would I do in each case? Imagine you're thinking about changing careers or moving to a new city. The fear of failure can be paralyzing. But when you take time to imagine both the best and worst outcomes, you realize something powerful. You are capable of handling both. The fear shrinks. You start to see that your strength isn't in predicting the future, it's in being prepared for whatever comes. As Epictetus reminds us, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. That mindset turns fear into fuel. When you approach uncertainty this way, it stops being a threat and starts becoming a teacher. You grow more resilient, more adaptable. You begin to trust that no matter what happens, you'll find a way forward. Marcus Aurelius said it best: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That's the Stoic path, using life's obstacles as a guide to become stronger, wiser, and more grounded. And the more you walk that path, the more you realize that uncertainty doesn't have to shake you, it can shape you. In fact, some of your greatest growth may come from the moments when everything felt unsure. Today, uncertainty shows up in so many areas of life: relationships, careers, finances, even our health. But modern Stoicism gives us a powerful framework to navigate all of it. It teaches us not to react out of fear, but to respond with clarity and confidence. So the next time you feel uncertainty creeping in, don't fight it, welcome it. Pause, reflect, and ask yourself, what would my best self do here? You'll start to see that it's not about having all the answers. It's about having the mindset to meet anything that comes. And that mindset is what will carry you through time and time again. Number 7. Making decisions based on values and principles. Every day, you're faced with choices, some small, others life-changing. But the question isn't just what decision to make, it's how and why you make it. That's where modern Stoicism comes in. Instead of reacting on impulse or being swayed by outside pressures, the Stoic path urges you to anchor every choice in your core values. It's not about doing what feels easy or popular, it's about doing what's right, even when it's hard. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. In other words, the quality of your decisions shapes the quality of your life. Before making any decision, pause and ask yourself, does this align with my values? Will I still respect myself after choosing this path? Maybe it's a job offer that pays well, but requires you to compromise your ethics. Maybe it's a relationship, a purchase, or even a tweet. The Stoic way reminds you that every action either builds your character or erodes it. By regularly doing what I call an integrity check, you ensure your decisions are guided by wisdom, not impulse. Stoics believe virtue, courage, justice, wisdom, and self-discipline is the highest good. That means your best life doesn't come from chasing comfort or approval, but from staying true to your principles. In today's fast-paced world, where quick wins and instant gratification are everywhere, this kind of mindful decision-making is more important than ever. It's tempting to follow trends, seek validation, or choose short-term pleasure over long-term purpose, but each time you do, you risk drifting away from who you truly want to be. Modern Stoicism helps cut through that noise. It teaches you to slow down, reflect, and act with intention. Ask yourself, will this choice help me grow, or is it just a distraction? When you use your values as a compass, your path becomes clearer, even when it's not easier. Of course, this isn't always comfortable. Living by your values often means saying no when everyone else says yes. It might mean walking away from things that seem appealing but aren't aligned with your integrity. Yet, over time, those choices build a life you can be proud of, one based on meaning, not just momentum. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters. So let your responses be rooted in who you are, not who others expect you to be. Take time each day to reflect. Are your choices in sync with your values? Are you choosing short-term ease over long-term fulfillment? Remember, every decision shapes your story, and when you commit to making decisions based on principle, your life becomes not just more purposeful, but truly your own. Number 8. Learning from others. We often hear the phrase, "no man is an island," and in the context of Stoic philosophy, this idea holds especially true. In our journey toward personal growth, it's crucial to recognize the power of learning from those who have walked the path before us. Stoicism teaches us to seek wisdom from others, whether through mentors, advisors, or even the great thinkers of history. By consulting those with more experience or knowledge, we gain perspectives that can guide us toward better decisions and a more virtuous life. Take Marcus Aurelius, for example. Despite being one of Rome's most powerful emperors, he was also a devoted Stoic philosopher. He often turned to his teachers and advisors for guidance. Marcus understood that wisdom doesn't simply emerge from solitary contemplation, but rather from the shared human experience. In your own life, whether you're facing a personal dilemma or making a tough professional decision, seeking advice from trusted individuals can help you see things from a broader viewpoint. One powerful Stoic technique that can help here is what I call the "two heads are better than one" method. This involves discussing your thoughts with a small group of trusted individuals. Each person brings a unique perspective, which can shed light on different aspects of your situation. This collective brainstorming helps you gain clarity, uncover blind spots, and make more informed decisions. Imagine a scenario where you're considering a big move, whether it's changing jobs or making a personal shift. By consulting with a mentor or a group of peers, you can gain valuable insights that you might not have considered on your own. The Stoic secrets lie not in going it alone, but in embracing the wisdom of those around you. Marcus Aurelius wasn't shy about learning from others, and neither should you be. Remember, no matter how wise you may become, there's always something to learn from those who have more experience. And this isn't limited to just people. Historical figures, philosophers, and even books can serve as your mentors, offering valuable lessons from their trials and triumphs. Now, let me share a modern example that illustrates this principle. Take the story of a young entrepreneur who was struggling to grow her business. She spent years trying to do everything herself, hoping to find success on her own terms. But eventually she realized that something was missing. She decided to seek advice from a mentor who had been in the industry for decades. The mentor shared valuable lessons about networking, risk-taking, and even the importance of failure as a learning experience. With this newfound wisdom, the entrepreneur was able to turn her business around and find success. Had she not sought advice, she may have continued to spin her wheels. Think about your own life. Who could you learn from? Who are the trusted individuals who can offer you guidance when you're at a crossroads? Don't hesitate to reach out to those who have more experience or different perspectives. You'll be amazed at how much insight you can gain when you open yourself up to the wisdom of others. The Stoic approach to learning from others isn't about blindly following advice, but about recognizing that we don't have all the answers. By humbling ourselves, we allow others to share their experiences, and in turn, we grow wiser. This lesson applies in every area of life, from personal relationships to professional decisions. The Stoic secret here is simple. Seek wisdom, share ideas, and be open to guidance. You don't have to navigate life's challenges alone, whether through mentors, peers, or even the lessons of history. There's always someone or something that can help guide your way. So ask yourself, who are you learning from today? Number 9. Reflecting on past decisions. Imagine this. You've just finished a big project, made an important choice, or navigated a tricky situation. Now, what's next? Stoicism teaches us that the journey of personal growth doesn't end with the completion of a task. In fact, it's just the beginning. One of the most powerful practices in modern Stoicism is self-reflection. The Stoics believed that to truly improve, we must take the time to look back on our decisions and actions, whether they led to success or failure. This process is about learning, not judging, and it's something I want you to start doing regularly if you want to grow. Now let me ask you, when was the last time you took a moment to reflect on a decision after it was done? Think about it, whether you succeeded or not. What can you learn from the experience? This is where the technique of post-mortem analysis comes in. It's a method where, after the dust has settled, you look back on the situation and evaluate what went well and what didn't. You're not looking to beat yourself up or dwell on mistakes. You're simply taking the time to understand why things happened the way they did. It's about gaining insights into your actions and thought processes, so you can adjust your approach moving forward. You see, reflection isn't about perfection, it's about progress. For example, after finishing a project, instead of just moving on to the next task, take a moment to ask yourself some critical questions. What worked? What could I have done differently? What did I learn about myself and my decision-making? This simple habit can be transformative. By reflecting on your choices, you're not just collecting facts, you're actively learning from your own experiences. It's this kind of intentional reflection that can help you sharpen your judgment and decision-making skills, ensuring that your future choices are more aligned with your true goals. I think the beauty of Stoic philosophy lies in its focus on personal responsibility. As Epictetus said, we are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. When you practice regular reflection, you take control of your thoughts about your past decisions. You become less reactive and more intentional, which in turn helps you make better choices in the future. It's a mindset shift, one that moves you from a place of regret or frustration into a space of growth and possibility. I ask you, how often do you pause to reflect on your decisions? Do you allow yourself the time to learn from your mistakes and successes, or do you simply move on without fully understanding what worked and what didn't? In the practice of modern Stoicism, Reflecting on past decisions is one of the most valuable tools you can use to improve your life. Make it a habit. You'll be amazed at the clarity and wisdom that come from looking back with the goal of moving forward. The more you commit to this practice, the clearer your judgment will become, and the more aligned your decisions will be with the person you want to become. Remember, each reflection is an opportunity to adjust your sails, to ensure that your journey ahead is more focused and intentional. What lessons will you take from today's reflection to create a better tomorrow? I believe that if you make this a daily habit, you'll start seeing small but profound changes in how you approach decisions, big and small. And that's how modern Stoicism can help you live a life that's not only successful, but also truly fulfilling. Number 10. Reflecting on your future self. One of the most impactful Stoic practices is future self-reflection. This technique involves imagining yourself years from now, looking back at the decisions you're about to make. By stepping into your future self's shoes, you gain clarity, ensuring that your current actions align with your long-term goals and values. It's easy to get caught up in the emotions or temptations of the moment, but by considering how you'll feel about a decision in the future, you view it with a sense of wisdom and integrity. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This aligns perfectly with the idea that making choices in line with your true values brings deeper fulfillment than chasing temporary desires. Let's say you're faced with a tempting opportunity, like a high-paying job that promises financial security and prestige. On the surface, it seems ideal, but it conflicts with your personal values. Maybe the job requires actions or compromises that go against the principles you've built your life on. In that moment, it's easy to be swayed by the allure of money and status. However, take a moment to think about it from the perspective of your future self. Imagine looking back on this decision in 10 or 20 years. Will you be proud of this choice? Or will you regret compromising your integrity for immediate rewards? This exercise connects your daily decisions with your long-term vision, ensuring that you don't just choose what feels good now, but what will serve you well in the future. The power of future self-reflection lies in its ability to help you weigh the long-term consequences of your decisions. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius understood the fleeting nature of life. He knew that the decisions we make today shape the lives we lead tomorrow. By considering the future impact of our choices, we can make decisions rooted in wisdom, aligned with our values, and leading to a fulfilled life. This practice isn't about predicting the future with precision. It's about cultivating the foresight to make decisions that align with your higher purpose. By reflecting on how you want to feel about your decisions years down the road, you strengthen your ability to stay true to yourself and make choices that bring you closer to the life you want. Future self-reflection is one of the Stoic secrets to living a fulfilled life. It helps you remain grounded in your values and make decisions that serve your journey, not just your immediate desires. With regular practice, this Stoic exercise becomes a compass, guiding you through the distractions and temptations that can lead you astray. In today's fast-paced world, where decisions are often made under pressure, this tool ensures you stay aligned with your deeper purpose, avoiding regret in the future. Future self-reflection encourages you to live with intention. It reminds you that every choice you make ripples out and shapes the future you'll live. Each decision, no matter how small, builds upon the last. As you develop this habit, you'll find yourself making decisions that are not just reactions to circumstances, but intentional steps toward the future you want. Through this lens, you make decisions that not only serve you in the moment, but also contribute to a life of lasting satisfaction and integrity, a life you'll look back on with pride. By incorporating this Stoic practice into your daily routine, you harness timeless wisdom, ensuring that every choice you make moves you closer to the person you want to become. Thank you for being here with us today. It genuinely means a lot. Before we dive into the next insight, I want to take a moment to appreciate your presence. What we just explored, reflecting on your future self, is more than a Stoic practice. It's a powerful habit that can shape your entire life. Maybe you faced a tough decision where you had to choose between what felt good now and what would make you proud later. Or maybe you're in that exact moment right now. I'd love for you to share your experience in the comments. You can also simply drop this reflection slogan below. Choose now, thank yourself later. It's a powerful reminder that every decision we make today ripples into the future. Whether you leave a comment, share a thought, or just type the slogan, your voice helps build a space where wisdom grows and inspires others. Let's keep learning, reflecting, and moving forward together. Now, let's get into the next Stoic insight. Number 11. Examining biases in decision-making. As human beings, we all have biases, unconscious filters that shape the way we process information and make decisions. These biases are a natural part of human cognition, but Stoicism teaches us to recognize and overcome them. One of the most common biases is confirmation bias, the tendency to favor information that supports our existing beliefs, even if it's not true. The Stoics understood that to make wise decisions, we must first be aware of and challenge these biases. Self-awareness is central to Stoic philosophy, and it extends to how we form opinions and interpret information. In today's world, it's easy to surround ourselves with people and content that reinforce our views. Stoicism calls us to actively seek out perspectives that challenge our assumptions. For example, when considering a business venture, we may naturally seek out data or feedback that supports our gut feeling. We might focus only on positive testimonials or articles that align with our optimism. However, a Stoic approach would encourage us to pause and seek out opposing viewpoints or evidence that challenges our assumptions. This might feel uncomfortable, but it can lead to valuable insights and a more informed decision-making process. The Stoic principle of scrutinizing impressions urges us to examine our thoughts carefully, questioning whether they are based on reality or simply assumptions. By doing this, we align our actions with reality, not a biased or distorted version of it. How can you apply this Stoic principle in your daily life? The key is to pause before making any decision, whether big or small. Take a moment to reflect. Am I considering all perspectives? Have I sought out information that contradicts my beliefs? By making this practice a habit, you will train yourself to be more objective and rational, reducing the impact of bias in your decisions. Over time, this practice cultivates a mindset grounded in modern Stoicism, one that values awareness, self-reflection, and the ability to make decisions based on facts, not emotions or assumptions. The goal is to not only recognize our biases, but to challenge them regularly, ensuring that our decisions are rooted in true wisdom rather than comfort or familiarity. The same can be applied to decision-making. The best decisions are those made through clear, unbiased reasoning, not immediate desires. By examining our biases consistently, we empower ourselves to make decisions that are aligned with truth and lead to long-term fulfillment. Number 12. Pre-mortem analysis. One of the most powerful and often underused techniques you can employ to make better, more informed decisions is pre-mortem analysis. In essence, it's the practice of imagining that your decision has already failed and then working backward to uncover the reasons for that failure. This approach is the opposite of post-mortem analysis, which involves reflecting on a decision only after it's been made and evaluating what went wrong. The pre-mortem method helps you proactively identify potential problems before they arise, allowing you to prepare for them and significantly reduce the likelihood of failure. It's a technique that can be applied to almost any decision, whether personal or professional. For instance, let's say you're about to launch a new product. Instead of simply hoping it will succeed or pushing ahead with optimism, you visualize that the launch has already failed. What went wrong? Did you overlook a competitor with a better product? Was your marketing strategy ineffective? Perhaps your supply chain was unprepared for demand. By stepping into that mindset, you allow yourself to think critically and identify the potential obstacles that might cause the failure. This gives you the chance to address these risks before they even occur, tweaking your strategy or making adjustments where necessary. This technique ties directly to a key Stoic principle: foresight. The Stoics were masters of preparing for the uncertainties of life. They knew that challenges and obstacles are inevitable, but that success often comes down to how well you anticipate and prepare for them. The practice of pre-mortem analysis is rooted in this Stoic mindset. By thinking about what could go wrong in advance, you develop a resilience and strategic mindset that can help you handle life's inevitable ups and downs. Let me ask you, how many times have you made decisions without considering all the possible outcomes, only to regret it afterward? How many moments in your life have been tainted by the sting of surprise failures? Now, what if you could eliminate some of that regret by planning for failure as much as you plan for success? Imagine the confidence you would gain, knowing that you had already anticipated potential risks and devised strategies to handle them. Wouldn't that make you feel more in control of your decisions and less overwhelmed by unexpected setbacks? To practice pre-mortem analysis, I encourage you to start small. Take a few moments before making a decision to think critically about the risks involved. Ask yourself, what could go wrong here? What have I not considered? How can I prepare for these potential challenges? It's about being proactive rather than reactive. The more you practice this Stoic secret, the better you will become at making decisions that are not only well thought out, but also resilient to unforeseen difficulties. It's not just about avoiding mistakes. It's about turning those potential mistakes into learning opportunities. When failure does occur, you'll be more prepared to handle it, recover quickly, and keep moving forward. The next time you're faced with an important decision, try applying pre-mortem analysis. Visualize the failure first, then work backward to figure out why it might have happened and what you can do to prevent it. By regularly practicing this technique, you can make smarter, more confident choices and improve both your personal and professional life. You'll find that not only does this method help you avoid costly mistakes, but it also gives you the mental strength to navigate challenges with a sense of calm and readiness. So, take a moment before each decision and start thinking like a Stoic, prepared, resilient, and ready for whatever life may throw your way. Number 13. Maintaining equanimity in any situation. Equanimity is one of the most powerful virtues in modern Stoicism. It's the ability to remain calm, balanced, and composed, regardless of the external circumstances surrounding you. Let's face it, life is a roller coaster. There are moments when everything goes perfectly, success, happiness, everything feels right. And then there are the lows, the failures, the struggles. But here's the key. No matter what life throws your way, you have the power to decide how you respond. In those moments of success, your ego can easily swell, and in moments of failure, your spirit can sink. Whether you're celebrating a big win or dealing with a setback, maintaining equanimity helps you stay grounded and clear-headed. Take a moment to imagine a situation. You've been working tirelessly on a project and finally receive feedback. Some of it is glowing, praise, recognition. But then there are the parts where criticism cuts a little deeper. The typical response might be to feel elated by the compliments and deflated by the harsh words. How often do you let your emotions fluctuate with external feedback? What if you could choose to remain calm in the face of both the praise and the criticism? That's equanimity in action. It's not about ignoring your emotions, but about not letting them control you. You can feel the joy from a compliment, but you don't let it swell your ego. You can feel disappointment from criticism, but you don't let it shake your confidence. This is how Stoics maintain clarity in their thinking. Now, think about your own life. How many times have you been swept away by excitement when things are going well, only to feel defeated when things go wrong? Imagine how different things would feel if, instead of letting these external circumstances dictate your emotions, you simply acknowledge them, feel them, and then let them pass. Equanimity teaches us to not be controlled by success or failure, but to acknowledge both as part of life. Both have lessons to offer, but neither should define who we are. How can you start practicing this? It's simple. Begin by consciously choosing to remain calm, whether things are going great or falling apart. When success comes your way, appreciate it, but don't let it overtake you. And when failure strikes, don't let it define your worth. Learn from it, grow from it, and keep moving forward. This isn't something that happens overnight. It's a practice that requires daily effort and intention. Over time, though, this practice builds resilience. It helps you create a deep inner peace that remains unshaken, no matter the storm outside. The more you practice equanimity, the more you'll find yourself responding to life's challenges with grace, balance, and wisdom. Life will always present you with both joy and sorrow, success and failure, but you have the ability to choose your response. When life tests your composure, remember, the power is in your hands. Will you choose calm or chaos today? How will you respond to the next wave of challenges that come your way? The Stoic practice of equanimity is your tool to remain steady, grounded, and unshaken, no matter the external circumstances. Number 14. Managing emotions when facing uncertainty. Uncertainty is a constant companion in life, one we all must face at some point, and how we respond to it can shape our entire experience. Stoicism teaches us not to shy away from uncertainty, but to embrace it as an opportunity for growth. When confronted with situations that are beyond our immediate understanding or control, it's easy for emotions to take the lead. We might find ourselves gripped by fear, anxiety, or frustration, which can push us to make hasty decisions or, conversely, freeze us in indecision. But the wisdom of Stoic philosophy reminds us that it's not the uncertainty itself that causes us distress. It's how we allow our emotions to control us in those moments. As Epictetus once wisely said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." This powerful statement invites us to realize that our thoughts, more than the events themselves, determine our emotional responses. When faced with a significant life choice, such as changing careers or making a personal commitment, it's easy to let the overwhelming weight of uncertainty cause us to spiral into doubt. In these moments, our emotions, fear, uncertainty, doubt, can easily cloud our judgment, but by embracing Stoic principles, we can learn to manage these emotions with grace. Instead of letting anxiety drive your decisions, focus on what you can control. For example, with a career decision, you may not know what the future holds, but you do control the preparation you put in, the research you conduct, and the people you consult for advice. Make sure your decision aligns with your values, not just your fears. The Stoics would tell us to make decisions grounded in reason, not in the heat of an emotional response. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered Stoics, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." To incorporate this Stoic approach into your life, start by acknowledging your emotions when uncertainty arises. Understand that it's natural to feel fear or doubt, but don't let those emotions dictate your actions. You're not expected to rid yourself of these feelings, but rather to manage them by focusing on what you can control. In those moments, take a step back, breathe, and ask yourself, what can I control right now? What decision can I make that aligns with my values? If you consistently practice this, you'll find that you can respond to life's uncertainties with a calm, rational mind, rather than being swept away by your emotions. The Stoic secret here is simple but profound. By regularly applying this practice, you build resilience. You create a foundation of inner strength that allows you to navigate even the most challenging circumstances with confidence and clarity. Life is unpredictable, and we can't control everything, but we can control how we respond. The more you develop this practice, the more you'll notice that, over time, uncertainty doesn't rattle you as much as it once did. You'll begin to realize that your responses to uncertain situations will define the quality of your life. And as you manage your emotions in the face of uncertainty, you'll find yourself growing stronger and more capable of handling whatever life throws your way. This ability to remain grounded in the face of uncertainty is one of the key Stoic secrets that allows us to live a fulfilling, empowered life. By applying the Stoic principles discussed in this section, you'll begin to experience a shift in how you perceive and react to life's challenges. These methods are just the beginning of transforming your thinking and decisions. In the next section, we'll explore Stoic techniques that help improve the quality of daily life by fostering mindfulness and resilience, so you can implement these changes seamlessly into your routine. Stoic methods to enhance daily life quality. Now that you've learned how to refine your thinking and decision-making, it's time to focus on improving the quality of your daily life. Stoic methods offer powerful tools to cultivate mindfulness, inner peace, and resilience in the face of adversity. Let's dive into practical strategies that will help you maintain calm, build resilience, and embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Number 1. Live in the present, avoid future worries. Let's face it, how often do you find yourself worrying about the future? Whether it's a project at work, an upcoming test, or even something more personal like a relationship, the future can feel heavy on your mind. But here's the thing. Stoicism teaches us that worrying about what lies ahead only takes us away from what we can control right now. Think about it for a second. When you focus too much on what might happen, you miss out on what's happening right in front of you. The Stoics were all about the present moment. So, what if instead of stressing about the unknown, you learn to focus your energy on what you can do now? When I reflect on this, I realize that the key to staying grounded in the present is simple. We must focus on what's in front of us. Take a moment and think about a recent task you've been dreading. Maybe it's a big project or a responsibility that feels overwhelming. How did it feel when you thought about everything that needs to be done all at once? Probably pretty intimidating, right? That's where Stoicism comes in. Instead of letting the weight of the whole situation drag you down, break it into smaller steps. Focus on completing one task at a time. Each small action you take is a victory. It doesn't matter what's coming next or what might happen in the future. What matters is that right now you're making progress. Now, let's take this a step further. Imagine starting each day with a clear intention to focus on the present. It could be something as simple as saying to yourself, "Today I will give my full attention to the task at hand." By doing this, you're not only practicing mindfulness, but also reinforcing the idea that the future will take care of itself. Think about how often you waste energy worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. Doesn't that feel like such a drain? The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, taught us that we must not let our thoughts wander, because when we let our minds drift to worries about tomorrow, we're robbing ourselves of today's opportunities. So, here's a challenge for you. Tomorrow, when you wake up, set an intention to stay focused on the present. Don't get caught up in what's ahead. When you find yourself thinking about the future, gently bring your attention back to what's right in front of you. By practicing this daily, you'll notice that your productivity and focus improve. And here's the real magic of Stoicism. As you focus on one task at a time, you'll start to feel more in control, more empowered, and less anxious about what might happen. This is what modern Stoicism is all about. Taking action in the moment and letting go of the needless worries that only drain us. The truth is, we can't predict the future, but we can show up fully for today. When you embrace this mindset, each task becomes a chance for growth, not a source of stress. So I ask you, how much energy are you wasting on worrying about things that haven't happened yet? What if you could redirect that energy into being fully present right now? You'd be surprised at how powerful this shift can be. Start small, but commit to living in the present. Take a deep breath and know that the future will unfold in its own time, just like it always does. Number 2, stay calm during challenges. One of the most valuable Stoic secrets is the ability to remain calm in the face of chaos. In today's fast-paced world, filled with distractions, stress, and unexpected hurdles, it's easy for emotions or external pressures to take control. Stoic philosophy, however, encourages us to focus on what we can control, our own reactions, rather than letting outside events determine our emotional state. Take, for instance, a stressful work situation. Maybe you've made a mistake or are facing an urgent issue. It's natural to feel overwhelmed, but a Stoic would resist reacting emotionally. Instead, they'd take a step back, calmly assess the problem, and focus on finding a solution. By practicing this ability to pause and think, you maintain control over your responses, helping you manage stress and make decisions that align with your values. Incorporating this Stoic practice into daily life doesn't require major changes. It's about developing the habit of pausing before reacting. When frustration or anxiety arise, take a deep breath or count to 3. This moment of stillness allows you to separate your emotional reaction from a more rational response. It creates the clarity to choose how you want to act, whether it's listening attentively during a tough conversation, addressing a problem at work with a calm mind, or avoiding hasty decisions in times of personal stress. By doing this regularly, you keep inner peace even during tough times, and prevent emotional turmoil from clouding your judgment. Stoicism doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but learning to channel them effectively. While we all experience frustration, anger, or fear, Stoicism encourages us to recognize and accept these emotions without letting them control us. By staying calm, We improve not only how we handle challenges, but also our relationships with others and ourselves. Reacting impulsively often creates unnecessary drama, but by maintaining composure, we bring clarity and resilience to our decision. It also helps us stay focused on long-term goals, ensuring that temporary emotions don't derail our progress. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This Stoic secret reinforces that true strength lies in controlling our reactions, no matter the external circumstances. In today's world, stress is a constant presence, making the ability to remain calm even more crucial. Whether it's a difficult conversation, a looming deadline, or a sudden problem, maintaining composure reflects your inner strength. Practicing calmness doesn't just improve decision-making in the moment, it builds resilience. It allows you to face challenges with confidence and clarity, rather than being overwhelmed by emotions. With time, this practice becomes easier, making it second nature to stay calm under pressure. This Stoic practice not only improves decision-making, but leads to a life of inner peace, where external events no longer control your emotions. By focusing on what you can control, your actions and responses, you create a foundation of strength that serves you throughout your life. Remember, the Stoic secret is simple. Pause before you react. This brief moment of stillness is where your power lies. By choosing calmness, you align your actions with your values and gain the strength to handle challenges with clarity. The more you practice, the more you move through the world with poise and confidence, regardless of external chaos. The more you embrace this Stoic practice, the more resilient and empowered you'll become, turning adversity into an opportunity for growth and self-mastery. Number 3. Build resilience in adversity. Stoic resilience isn't just about enduring challenges, it's about thriving through them. Life will inevitably bring us difficulties, but how we respond to them determines our growth. Stoicism teaches that every setback, no matter how daunting, is an opportunity to build mental strength and character. The key to Stoic resilience is not in avoiding hardships, but in embracing them and using them as a platform for growth. For instance, imagine you're faced with a health setback. A typical response might be to feel sorry for yourself or to complain about the situation. But a Stoic would view this differently. Instead of seeing it as a personal failure or an unfair burden, the Stoic would ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I emerge from this experience stronger?" This mindset shifts the focus from the frustration of the moment to the growth that can come from it. By choosing to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles, we begin to shape our resilience. Resilience isn't built by avoiding difficulties, but by facing them head-on and learning from them. To foster resilience in your own life, focus on the lessons each challenge provides. Whenever you encounter a difficult situation, remind yourself that this is not a test of your ability to avoid discomfort, but a chance to grow. Whether it's dealing with a difficult task at work, overcoming personal setbacks, or dealing with the frustrations of daily life, every challenge is an opportunity to practice resilience. When things don't go according to plan, instead of dwelling on the frustration, ask yourself how you can adjust and persevere. The Stoics understood that resilience is a practice. It's something you build over time through consistent effort, not something you're born with. Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic, echoed this sentiment when he wrote in his Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, obstacles aren't things to be avoided, they're things that push us forward if we choose to face them. The beauty of Stoic resilience lies in its ability to be practiced every day. Resilience doesn't require monumental challenges to be effective. Rather, it's about embracing the small, everyday opportunities to strengthen your mental fortitude. Maybe it's taking on a task that feels overwhelming, or deciding to press on even when setbacks arise. Each time you choose to persevere, you're building the mental muscle needed to handle life's bigger challenges. Over time, as you make resilience a regular part of your life, you'll find that you're better equipped to face life's uncertainties with strength and grace. The Stoic approach teaches us to view every challenge as an opportunity for growth, knowing that the act of rising above adversity is what forges true strength. In modern Stoicism, resilience isn't just about enduring pain. It's about using the inevitable difficulties of life as stepping stones toward becoming a stronger, more self-aware person. Each setback provides you with the opportunity to choose how you respond, and in choosing to face adversity with strength, you create a life that is more aligned with the Stoic values of wisdom, courage, and self-control. Every challenge you face is a chance to cultivate resilience, and each moment of perseverance is a victory that builds your character. As you move forward, remember that resilience is not an end goal, but a continuous journey, one that will serve you well in the face of life's uncertainties. Number 4. Know when to let go or persist. One of the most valuable Stoic secrets lies in knowing when to let go and when to persist. Life often presents us with challenges where we must decide whether to keep pushing forward or gracefully step away. The wisdom of the Stoics teaches us that holding on too tightly to something that no longer serves us can be harmful, while letting go can open the door to new opportunities and growth. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself in a situation, whether a job, a relationship, or a project, where things weren't working, yet you felt compelled to keep going because you didn't want to quit? I can recall a time in my own life when I stayed in a job for far too long because I feared failure. Even though the job drained my energy and no longer matched my values, I persisted, telling myself that giving up would be a defeat. But when I finally made the difficult decision to leave, I discovered a world of possibilities I had never imagined. You see, the Stoic approach isn't about quitting when things get tough. It's about having the wisdom to recognize when your efforts are no longer moving you toward your purpose. A Stoic would encourage you to assess your commitments regularly and determine if continuing on a path is truly serving your best interests. If something is draining your energy, hindering your growth, or taking you off course, it might be time to let go. This doesn't mean avoiding hard work or quitting at the first sign of trouble. Instead, it's about distinguishing between situations where persistence is a valuable tool for growth and those where letting go can lead to a healthier, more fulfilling path. For example, let's say you've been working on a project that just isn't yielding the results you hoped for despite your best efforts. Instead of stubbornly persisting in the same direction, ask yourself, is this still in line with my values and goals? Could my energy be better spent elsewhere? This kind of self-reflection allows you to make adjustments and shift focus when necessary without getting caught in fruitless pursuits. By practicing this Stoic principle, you learn to evaluate your goals and commitments with a discerning eye, ensuring that you stay true to your purpose and avoid getting stuck in unhealthy or unproductive patterns. The Stoic secret of knowing when to persist and when to let go is about finding balance. It's not about giving up easily. It's about recognizing when your efforts are no longer serving you and having the courage to make a change. Life is full of transitions, And sometimes, the best thing you can do is embrace the wisdom of letting go so that you can move forward with clarity and purpose. How might your life change if you started applying this principle? What could you achieve if you freed yourself from the weight of unproductive pursuits? So, take a moment to evaluate your own commitments and ask yourself, are you holding on to something that's draining you? Or is it time to let go and make space for something new and aligned with your true purpose? To connect with our supportive community, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment, "I choose clarity over struggle," below if you believe in the power of knowing when to let go and when to persist. Your voice helps us build a space where wisdom, growth, and purpose guide our actions, and where each of us supports the other in making choices that truly serve our best selves. Let's grow together. Number 5. Develop patience and persistence. In today's world, where everything moves at lightning speed, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success comes from quick wins, fast results, and the constant chase for the next big thing. We're told that the faster you work, the faster you rise. But here's a truth that modern Stoicism teaches us. Success is not about rushing, it's about consistent, deliberate progress toward your goals. Patience and persistence are not just virtues to admire, they are the foundation of any meaningful success, and they need to be practiced every single day. I know you've probably experienced moments when you've tried something new, whether it's picking up a new skill, starting a project, or working toward a personal goal, and it felt like progress was crawling along. The days can sometimes feel long, and the results can seem distant. It's in those moments that frustration begins to creep in, isn't it? But here's the thing. Stoicism teaches us not to let the lack of immediate results shake us. Instead of focusing on how far we have to go, we should focus on each small, steady step forward. Yes, things may feel slow, but real and lasting growth takes time. It's so easy to get discouraged when progress isn't instant. But if you look closely, you'll realize that every little effort, every step you take, brings you closer to your goal, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. It's the journey, not the quick fix, that brings lasting change. Think about it. How many times have you looked at immediate outcomes and felt defeated because they didn't meet your expectations? How often do you judge your progress based on what you can see today, forgetting that true change builds over time? As Epictetus wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery in this case means taking control of your actions and staying committed to your goals, even when things don't happen as fast as you'd like. Patience isn't about sitting back and waiting for things to fall into place. It's about taking charge of each day, pushing forward with consistency, and understanding that success is a gradual process. Every day you persist in working toward your goal, you're not just building skill, you're building resilience. You're strengthening your resolve to push through setbacks and keep going. When challenges arise, and they will, you'll know that they are just another part of the process. You'll see that persistence is the key to success, and that each challenge only brings you one step closer to where you want to be. How often do you find yourself frustrated when things don't happen immediately? How can you shift your mindset and embrace each step, no matter how small, knowing that true progress takes time? The more you practice patience in your daily routine, the stronger your commitment will be to your long-term goals. And the more persistent you are, the more resilient you will become. This isn't just a philosophical idea, it's the practical application of modern Stoicism in action. By focusing on the long term, celebrating small victories along the way, and building a steady, patient mindset, you'll find that true success doesn't happen overnight. It happens one day at a time. Take a moment now. Can you think of a place where you've been rushing? What would it look like to slow down, take a deep breath, and embrace steady, consistent steps forward toward your goals today? Let's make that choice now. Number 6. Exercise self-control daily. Self-control is the foundation of Stoic philosophy, guiding every decision and action. The Stoics understood that our impulses, whether fleeting desires, emotional reactions, or external pressures, can easily lead us astray. Instead of letting these forces dictate our lives, Stoicism teaches us to make decisions based on reason and virtue, aligning our actions with our true goals. Every choice, big or small, offers an opportunity to practice self-discipline and align our actions with our highest values, ensuring that we are not swayed by fleeting desires. Take the example of resisting the temptation to indulge in unhealthy food. While it may seem insignificant, this everyday decision is a test of self-control. When faced with the urge for instant gratification, pause and ask, is this decision in line with my long-term goals? Instead of giving in to the craving, choose an option that aligns with your broader purpose. This is not about denying yourself pleasure, but about making conscious choices that support your long-term well-being. It's about acting with intention rather than reacting impulsively. In this way, small decisions every day build our self-control and strengthen our ability to make choices that reflect our deeper values. Practicing self-control is not about achieving perfection, but about making consistent progress. Start by recognizing when desires or distractions arise, whether it's the urge to procrastinate, overindulge, or react hastily in stressful moments. Once you identify these urges, consciously choose to act differently. Take a deep breath to calm yourself, set boundaries to avoid distractions, or make mindful decisions aligned with your long-term goals. These small, deliberate choices are the Stoic secrets that help you strengthen your ability to resist impulsive reactions and stay focused on your broader aspirations. Over time, practicing self-control becomes more natural, transforming how you approach decisions. The key is consistency. By regularly exercising self-control, you transform your decision-making process, becoming less influenced by emotional distractions and more focused on choices that contribute to your happiness and growth. Just as physical exercise strengthens muscles, regular practice of self-discipline strengthens your ability to navigate challenges with clarity and composure. In today's world, where we face constant distractions, temptations, and external pressures, self-control is more important than ever. Our environment encourages instant gratification, whether through social media, fast food, or endless entertainment. But as a Stoic, you have the power to choose how to respond. By practicing self-control in your daily decisions, you create a life of intention, purpose, and fulfillment. Embracing this Stoic principle unlocks the secrets to living a life filled with greater wisdom and clarity. It's not about perfection. It's about being deliberate, acting in line with your values, and consistently choosing what serves your long-term well-being over short-term pleasure. By adopting this approach, you move from being a passive participant to being the master of your own actions and destiny. Number 7. Find inner peace in hard times. Finding inner peace during difficult times is a central tenet of modern Stoicism. The Stoics believe that true peace comes from within, and no matter what external circumstances we face, they should never be allowed to disturb our inner calm. Life can be unpredictable. Challenges arise when we least expect them, people disappoint us, and situations unfold that feel completely beyond our control. It's easy to be swept away by the chaos around us. However, the wisdom of Stoic philosophy teaches us that peace does not come from the world outside. It comes from how we choose to respond to life's challenges. This is where the power of mindset and control lies. In moments of adversity, instead of reacting impulsively or giving in to frustration, Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control: our own reactions, thoughts, and emotions. For instance, let's say you face an unexpected setback, such as losing your job or dealing with a personal crisis. Naturally, your first instinct might be to panic or feel overwhelmed by the uncertainty. But a Stoic approach would encourage you to pause, breathe, and evaluate the situation calmly. Instead of allowing the situation to take over your mind, you would focus on the steps you can take to move forward. You might start by making a plan to tackle the problem, seeking support if necessary, and committing to actions that are within your control. Throughout this process, you would maintain your peace of mind, refusing to let external circumstances define your emotional state. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This profound statement serves as a reminder that, even in the most chaotic moments, we have the power to choose how we respond. Our thoughts and attitudes shape our experiences, and by mastering our internal responses, we gain strength and clarity. To cultivate inner peace, it's crucial to practice mindfulness and emotional control regularly. Begin by incorporating simple techniques like deep breathing or meditation into your routine. When stress or frustration arise, take a moment to stop and focus on your breath. Center yourself before reacting to the situation. By making this practice part of your daily life, you will gradually build resilience and develop a sense of calm that will carry you through life's inevitable challenges. Modern Stoicism offers us a powerful toolkit for dealing with life's obstacles with grace and strength. It teaches us to let go of the things beyond our control and to focus on nurturing our inner peace. By consistently practicing these principles, we learn to face adversity with poise, developing mental clarity and emotional stability. With time, you will find that you are better equipped to handle life's ups and downs with a calm mind and a peaceful heart. This Stoic approach isn't just about surviving tough times, it's about thriving in them, finding tranquility even when the world around you is in turmoil. Number 8. Set clear, meaningful goals. Setting goals is one of the most powerful ways to live with purpose. But in Stoicism, it's not just about reaching any goal. It's about making sure those goals reflect the person you want to become. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the process of goal setting is deeply intertwined with our growth and virtue. It's not enough to chase after external rewards like money or recognition. A true Stoic goal is about building character and living in harmony with your values. For example, imagine you're aiming for career success. While most people might define success by the size of their paycheck or their job title, a Stoic would encourage you to think beyond these external markers. How does your work align with your personal values? How does it serve others? Is it helping you grow as a person? These are the kinds of questions that help you craft meaningful, Stoic-inspired goals. Think about your own life for a moment. Have you ever set a goal that, in the end, didn't bring you the fulfillment you expected? Maybe you achieved something impressive, but it didn't feel as rewarding as you thought it would. That's because the pursuit of success without aligning it with your core values can often leave you feeling empty, even if you succeed by conventional standards. This is where the Stoic secrets come in. By focusing on goals that contribute to your character development and align with your values, you set yourself on a path that leads to a truly fulfilling life. To practice setting meaningful goals, start by reflecting on your values. What truly matters to you? Once you have a clear understanding of your values, you can then align your goals with them. It's essential to break down these larger, overarching goals into smaller, more manageable steps. For example, if one of your values is to serve others, your career goal might shift from just climbing the corporate ladder to making a meaningful impact in your field or helping others succeed in your workplace. Every small, purposeful step will keep you on track. I know someone who used to chase external markers of success, promotions, titles, and bonuses, but over time he realized that these things didn't bring him happiness. He started to redefine success, focusing instead on how his work could positively impact others. He broke down his goals into simple, actionable steps, things he could do every day to make his work more meaningful and aligned with his values. The shift wasn't easy, but it was powerful. He found that when he started setting goals that reflected his deeper values, his sense of fulfillment grew exponentially. Ask yourself, what are the goals you're pursuing right now? Are they in alignment with your core values, or are you chasing external rewards? Are your goals contributing to your personal growth and the person you want to become? It's not enough to just achieve goals. You need to pursue goals that make you a better person, that build character, and that give you a sense of purpose. By setting meaningful, value-driven goals, you'll find that your life becomes more intentional, more fulfilling, and more aligned with who you truly want to be. Remember, the Stoic secret here is simple. Don't just chase external success. Make sure your goals reflect your values, and the rest will follow. Every day, take small steps toward those goals, and in time, you'll find yourself living a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Number 9. Face failure with strength. Let's be honest with ourselves. Failure is something we all face, and it's something we can't avoid. Whether it's a small setback or a big disappointment, failure comes for all of us, no matter how hard we try to dodge it. But here's where Stoicism can truly change how we experience failure. Instead of seeing it as something that breaks us or makes us less than we are, Stoicism invites us to view failure as a teacher. It's not the end of the road. Rather, it's a chance to learn, improve, and come back even stronger. Think about it. You've set a goal, worked hard, and given it everything you've got, but things didn't go as planned. You might feel defeated, discouraged, or even embarrassed, right? It's natural to feel that way. But what if, instead of letting these feelings take over, you paused for a moment and thought, what can I learn from this? In those moments of setback, instead of spiraling into frustration or self-blame, try to take a deep breath and reflect. Ask yourself questions like, what went wrong? What could I have done differently? What lessons can I take from this to do better next time? This simple act of reflection turns failure into a valuable learning experience rather than a personal defeat. Imagine you're looking back on a time when you worked hard on a project or put in a lot of effort into something important, but the outcome wasn't what you hoped for. Rather than just feeling sorry for yourself or giving up, take that experience and ask yourself, what did I learn? What would I do differently if I faced a similar situation? Every failure is a chance to refine your approach, to improve your skills, and to grow as a person. Modern Stoicism is all about this mindset, embracing challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth. Sure, it's not always easy. Failure can sting, it can feel discouraging, and the temptation to quit or place blame on external factors can be strong. But what if you started looking at every failure as an opportunity to learn and improve? What if each setback was simply a step toward becoming a better version of yourself? Failure doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're trying. It means you're learning. It means you're evolving. The more you embrace failure with this mindset, the more resilient and unstoppable you'll become. Every time life doesn't go as planned, take a deep breath, reflect on the lessons, and move forward with the knowledge that failure is never the end. It's just the beginning of your next opportunity for success. As you continue to practice this mindset, you'll find that setbacks won't frighten you, they'll fuel you. You'll rise stronger, more determined, and more capable than ever before. Remember, it's not the failure itself that defines you. It's how you respond to it that truly shapes who you are. If you've made it this far, it shows you're someone who doesn't just face failure, you learn from it. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and type this slogan: fail, learn, rise again. It's a simple reminder that every setback is a setup for a stronger comeback. Let's keep growing together. More eye-opening Stoic secrets are on the way, so make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more wisdom to help you turn challenges into strength. Number 10. Build Stoic daily habits. One of the most powerful Stoic secrets is the importance of building daily habits that align with the core values of Stoicism. Stoic philosophy teaches us that consistent, purposeful actions are what shape our character and bring us closer to our highest ideals. Every day is an opportunity to become the person we aspire to be, and through small intentional habits, we refine ourselves. Take, for example, the virtue of patience. In today's world, where everything seems fast-paced and full of distractions, it's easy to let frustration take hold when things don't go as planned. But a Stoic approach encourages you to respond to even minor irritations with calmness and mindfulness. This practice helps transform frustration into an opportunity for growth. You don't need to wait for a major crisis to test your patience. Daily interactions, whether it's waiting in line at the store, dealing with a slow email response, or handling a challenging conversation, are all chances to practice patience and control your reactions. The key to building Stoic habits is consistency. It's about focusing on one Stoic principle at a time and weaving it into your daily routine. Maybe you want to focus on gratitude, patience, or self-discipline. Whatever your goal, start by intentionally incorporating that virtue into your life each day. This could mean setting aside a few minutes every morning to meditate or reflect on your goals, journaling about your thoughts and actions, or simply taking a moment throughout the day to assess whether you're living in alignment with Stoic values. When you intentionally practice Stoic virtues, you gradually transform your mindset, and what once required conscious effort becomes second nature. In the beginning, these habits may feel like small, incremental actions, but over time they accumulate and become deeply ingrained in your daily life. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its focus on continuous self-improvement. You're not aiming for perfection. Instead, each day is a step forward, a chance to become a wiser and more virtuous version of yourself. This practice isn't just about being perfect in the conventional sense. It's about striving toward becoming someone who responds to life with wisdom, calmness, and resilience. When you apply Stoic principles consistently, each day brings you closer to living a life of greater purpose and meaning. The Stoic path is one of gradual transformation, and by building these small, positive habits, you ensure that every moment, every decision, is a chance to embody the Stoic virtues. Whether you're focusing on patience, self-control, or gratitude, the more you practice, the more these virtues become a part of your nature. This is the power of Stoic daily habits. By consistently engaging in small, meaningful actions, you cultivate inner strength and alignment with your higher purpose. As you continue to practice, you'll see how these habits influence your decisions, interactions, and even your overall sense of peace. Stoicism teaches us that character is built over time, not by grand gestures, but by the small choices we make every day. These daily habits are the Stoic secrets that lead to a life of wisdom, virtue, and tranquility. With these Stoic methods in place, you'll find yourself better equipped to handle life's ups and downs. By consistently practicing these principles, you can enhance your daily experience and maintain peace of mind. As we move into the next section, we'll look at how Stoicism can further improve your decision-making process and help you navigate life with clarity and confidence. How Stoicism improves clear decision-making daily. Now that we've established methods to enhance your daily life, let's explore how Stoicism sharpens your decision-making. Stoic principles can help you make clear, rational decisions that align with your core values. In this section, we'll discuss how practicing daily reflection and emotional control leads to better decision-making and long-term personal growth. Number 1. Learn from others to improve decisions. Modern Stoicism teaches us that wisdom is not something we gain solely through personal experience. It is often found in the experiences of others. This ancient practice encourages us to seek guidance from those who have walked the path before us. By consulting mentors or individuals with valuable experience, we can make decisions that are both more informed and more grounded. In today's world, we are often quick to act on our own intuition or limited experiences. But Stoicism reminds us that there is great value in learning from others. For instance, if you're faced with a major career decision, it might be tempting to rely solely on your own thoughts and impulses. However, by reaching out to someone who has faced a similar crossroads, you gain a broader perspective that you might not have considered. A mentor who has navigated these waters before can offer advice, share their own experiences, and help you see the situation with fresh eyes, helping you avoid common pitfalls and making decisions that are more thoughtful and well-rounded. The key to this Stoic practice is not just seeking advice when you're in a crisis, but building a habit of engaging with those who can offer valuable insights on a regular basis. This could mean making time to connect with trusted mentors, peers, or professionals who can guide you with their wisdom. As you interact with them, you begin to broaden your own understanding and enrich your decision-making process. Instead of rushing to make impulsive choices, you will have a diverse set of perspectives to consider, helping you avoid the trap of limited experience. In other words, by opening yourself to the wisdom of others, you become more capable of controlling your decisions and actions in a way that leads to greater success and fulfillment. This practice not only sharpens your decision-making, but also helps you cultivate humility. It is a recognition that we are never alone in our experiences, and that wisdom is something we can share and receive. The act of seeking out advice, whether it is from a mentor, a colleague, or a friend, can help us see our own blind spots and ensure that we're not making decisions based on incomplete information. In the fast-paced world we live in today, it's easy to make quick decisions based on surface-level understanding. However, taking the time to learn from others, whether through formal mentorship or casual conversations, allows you to make choices with more clarity and confidence. To apply this in your daily life, Make it a point to regularly seek advice from those whose experience you respect. When you face a difficult decision, instead of jumping straight into action, pause and reflect. Who can offer valuable perspective? Who has navigated this before and can guide you through it? By fostering this habit, you will gradually develop the confidence to make decisions based not only on your own experiences, but on the wealth of knowledge that others bring to the table. Over time, this practice will help you cultivate a more objective and balanced approach to decision-making, one rooted in the principles of modern Stoicism, where wisdom, self-discipline, and humility are the cornerstones of a fulfilling life. Just as the Stoics valued learning from the world around them, you too can use this timeless practice to improve your judgment and live with greater clarity and purpose. Number 2, make decisions based on values. One of the most powerful Stoic secrets that can help shape your life is making decisions based on your core values. The Stoics understood that life is full of choices, some big, some small, but the key to living a life filled with purpose and meaning is ensuring that the decisions you make reflect what you truly believe, rather than being influenced by external pressures or fleeting desires. Have you ever been in a situation where the temptation to take the easier path was strong, only to realize later that it didn't align with who you are or what you stand for? I know I've been there. I once faced an opportunity to take a job that offered a significant salary increase, but it conflicted with my personal values. At first, I was drawn to the financial security that came with it, and I thought, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for. But as I took a step back and really reflected on what mattered most to me, I realized that accepting the job would have meant compromising my integrity. It was a sobering moment because I understood that no amount of money could replace my peace of mind or sense of self-respect. This experience made me realize the true wisdom of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics would tell you that decisions with long-term consequences should always be evaluated through the lens of your core values. For instance, if you are offered a high-paying job that demands you compromise your ethics or personal beliefs, a Stoic secret is to prioritize your values over the monetary reward. In situations like this, the Stoics would encourage you to ask yourself, does this align with who I am? Does this choice align with my principles? It's about more than just the immediate reward. It's about maintaining your integrity and staying true to yourself in the face of external temptations. How often do you pause to reflect on your values before making a decision? If you've never really asked yourself this question, I urge you to start today. It doesn't have to be something dramatic. Even in small decisions, it's important to check in with yourself about what truly matters. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? Does this decision reflect my values? By doing this, you can avoid making choices that are driven by momentary desires or pressures, and instead make decisions that are grounded in what's truly important to you. This simple practice allows you to make decisions that are aligned with your deeper purpose, bringing you long-term fulfillment and satisfaction, rather than temporary pleasure or success. The more you reflect on your values and apply them in your decision-making, the more clarity and confidence you'll have in your choices. It helps you navigate life's challenges with a sense of purpose and resilience. So, I ask you, what values define you? What principles do you hold dear? Once you identify these values, the next time you're faced with a decision, whether big or small, take a moment to ask yourself, does this choice align with my values? By doing so, you'll not only make decisions that lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life, but you'll also build a foundation of integrity and self-respect that lasts a lifetime. Number 3, build self-respect with every action. Let's take a moment to dive into something that holds deep significance: self-respect. It's easy to think of self-respect as just feeling good about ourselves or depending on others' approval. But true self-respect goes much deeper than that. It's about living in alignment with your values, your character, and your principles in every decision you make, no matter how small. This is the essence of modern Stoicism. The Stoics believed that every decision you make is a direct reflection of how you view yourself. Your actions shape your identity and either build your dignity or chip away at it. Think about that for a second. Every choice you make, whether you're conscious of it or not, is telling a story about who you are and what you stand for. Imagine a situation where you could easily take a shortcut. Maybe you're faced with an opportunity to cut corners, compromise your integrity just to make things a little easier, or to move ahead more quickly at the expense of your principles. It might seem like a small thing in the moment, but here's the Stoic perspective. True self-respect isn't built on taking the easy route. It's built on choosing the harder path, the path that stays true to your principles, even when no one is watching, even when there's no immediate reward. The Stoic doesn't sacrifice their integrity for convenience, because they understand that respect doesn't come from the external world. It comes from within. Think back to a time when you had to make a tough decision. Maybe you were tempted to compromise your integrity to avoid difficulty. In that moment, did you choose the easier path, or did you stand firm in your values even when it was uncomfortable? That's where self-respect is built or broken. It's not about being perfect. Every time you act according to your values, you're not just making a decision, you're reinforcing your character. But I want you to really ask yourself, how often do you make choices because of external pressure or for the sake of immediate rewards, rather than sticking with what you know is right? It's easy to get swept away by outside. As you continue down the path of life, the more consistently you align your actions with your core values, the more self-respect you'll cultivate. But remember, it's not about the external results. It's about knowing, deep down, that your actions reflect the kind of person you want to be. It's not about accolades or praise. It's about being able to look yourself in the mirror and know that you've acted with integrity. Mastering yourself means making decisions you can stand behind, living in a way that honors who you are at your core, regardless of the situation. Let me ask you, when was the last time you made a choice that truly reflected your values? Are you standing by your principles, even when it's tough? Take a moment to think about it. And if you find that there are decisions you're not proud of, don't get discouraged. Use that awareness to change the path moving forward. This is what modern Stoicism looks like in action, living a life of integrity and respect every single day. Make the choice today to honor your principles and build your self-respect, one decision at a time. Number 4, practice daily self-reflection. Self-reflection is not just a habit, it is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy that allows you to review your actions and decisions with clarity and objectivity. Each day, the Stoics would take time to reflect on their behavior, assessing whether their choices aligned with their personal values and principles. This practice is not about self-criticism, but about cultivating awareness and improving oneself over time. For instance, if you made a hasty decision at work, a Stoic would pause and ask, how could I have approached that situation differently? Did my actions reflect my core values, or was I driven by impulse? This kind of reflection is an opportunity to learn from your experiences, to adjust your approach, and to grow as a person. As Marcus Aurelius famously said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. His words remind us that true growth comes not from overthinking our failures, but from taking action to improve and align our behavior with our higher ideals. At the end of each day, set aside a few minutes to reflect on your decisions. Ask yourself whether your actions were aligned with your long-term goals and whether they helped move you closer to the person you want to become. Did you react with patience and understanding, or did you let frustration and emotion take the lead? Self-reflection isn't just about identifying mistakes. It's about acknowledging what went well, celebrating those moments, and using them as motivation to continue living in alignment with your values. This practice helps you avoid getting caught in the rush of life's events without pausing to assess their impact on your journey. It also provides you with a chance to course correct. If you notice that you acted impulsively or made decisions that weren't aligned with your values, you can take proactive steps the next day to act more thoughtfully. Through regular self-reflection, you build a habit of looking inward, which leads to greater self-awareness and intentional living. Over time, this practice will deepen your understanding of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, helping you make better decisions in the future. The Stoic secrets lie in this continuous process of self-evaluation. By setting aside time each day for reflection, you reinforce your commitment to live according to reason, not impulse, and to make decisions that serve your long-term well-being and growth. This reflection process also cultivates resilience, as you learn to view challenges and setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities for growth. Through daily self-reflection, you take charge of your thoughts and actions, becoming the master of your own life. In modern life, it's easy to get caught up in the busyness of our daily routines, making decisions on the fly without considering their long-term impact. But by adopting the Stoic practice of daily self-reflection, you create space to pause and think. It helps you become more mindful in the present moment, improving your ability to act with purpose and wisdom. Whether you're reflecting on how you handled a difficult conversation or how you managed your time, this practice allows you to make better decisions, not only in your personal life, but also in your career and relationships. By regularly evaluating your actions, you ensure that you are living intentionally and staying true to the values that matter most to you. And in doing so, you unlock the Stoic secrets to living a more fulfilling, thoughtful, and purposeful life. Number 5. Control emotions in any situation. One of the foundational principles of modern Stoicism is the ability to control our emotions in any situation. In a world that often feels driven by impulses, emotions can quickly take over, influencing our decisions and actions. Stoicism, however, teaches us to take a step back, pause, and evaluate situations through the lens of rationality, rather than letting our emotional responses control us. Emotions are part of being human. They are natural and can sometimes be essential. But when we allow them to dictate our actions, especially in stressful or challenging situations, they can cloud our judgment and lead us to react in ways that are not in line with our true values. Whether it's anger, fear, or even overexcitement, emotions often have the power to take the wheel and lead us down paths we might later regret. Take a moment to reflect on how often you've found yourself reacting impulsively, whether it's snapping at someone in a disagreement or getting caught up in a moment of anger when you should have stayed calm. The Stoics understood this well and developed a practice to counteract this natural tendency. Rather than allowing emotions to lead the way, Stoicism teaches us to pause, reflect, and take control of our response. For example, if someone criticizes you during a meeting or conversation, the instinctive reaction might be to defend yourself immediately, to feel hurt, or even to fight back. However, a Stoic would not react impulsively, but instead would take a moment to pause and think. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this criticism? Or, is this criticism fair and valuable? Then, respond with a calm and measured approach, free from emotional turmoil. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This profound idea highlights that while we can't control external events or how others behave, we always have control over our reactions. By practicing emotional control, you create the space to make decisions that reflect your true self and your values, rather than just following the sway of temporary emotions. A powerful way to begin building this skill is by incorporating small but impactful habits that promote calmness. Before responding to a stressful message or email, take a deep breath or pause for a moment of silence. When you feel anger or frustration rising within you, ground yourself by focusing on your breath, allowing your emotions to settle before reacting. These small moments of mindfulness not only help you respond thoughtfully, but also allow you to regain composure and make decisions that align with who you want to be. Over time, this practice becomes more natural, and you will find yourself better equipped to handle life's challenges, conflicts, and criticisms with grace and clarity. As you continue to develop emotional control, you won't just make better decisions, you'll also cultivate greater resilience and emotional intelligence. The tools of modern Stoicism provide you with the framework to navigate life's ups and downs, helping you stay centered and true to yourself, even when emotions threaten to take over. By mastering emotional control, you empower yourself to live more deliberately, making decisions with intention and purpose, and leading a life that is fulfilling and aligned with your deepest values. Let me ask you this: if you're ready to step into greater awareness, to take control of your thoughts and actions, and to grow stronger through mindful self-reflection, then don't just scroll by. Like this video and drop a comment below. Today, I chose reflection. Let the world know that you're not letting life pass by unnoticed. You're learning, adjusting, and growing every single day, because real strength doesn't come from controlling the world around you. It comes from mastering the world within. Number 6. Find the truth behind every choice. In today's world, it's easy to make decisions on impulse or based on what's right in front of us. We often go with the first thing that catches our eye, whether it's a flashy job offer, the promise of quick rewards, or the opinions of others. But Stoicism teaches us that every choice we make should be driven by reason, a deeper understanding of the situation, and a reflection on what truly matters to us. It's not enough to just scratch the surface. A Stoic digs deeper, seeking the true motivations and consequences behind every decision. Think about it. When you're faced with a big decision, say choosing a new job, what do you usually focus on? The salary, the title? While those are important, a Stoic would encourage you to look beyond the surface. Instead, ask yourself, what are the values and culture behind this job? How does it align with my long-term goals? Will it help me grow as a person? When you take a moment to reflect like this, you're not just reacting to the immediate benefits. You're making a conscious choice that aligns with who you want to be and what you truly want out of life. I once heard a story about a successful entrepreneur who was offered a lucrative partnership with a company that promised massive growth. At first, she was drawn to the salary, the prestige, and the excitement of the opportunity. But after some Stoic introspection, she paused and asked herself, is this what I truly want? Does this align with my values of helping others and making a difference? She realized that the company's values didn't align with hers, and the fast-paced growth would come at the expense of her personal time and the causes she cared about. She walked away from the deal, not because the opportunity wasn't tempting, but because she chose to honor her deeper values instead of being swayed by the surface-level appeal. Now, I want you to think about your own decisions. Are you making choices based on what feels good in the moment, or are you digging deeper to uncover the truth behind those choices? Every time you face a decision, big or small, ask yourself, what is the deeper truth behind this choice? What am I really motivated by? When you approach decisions with this kind of introspection, you'll find that the choices you make are more deliberate, aligned with your goals, and ultimately more fulfilling. The Stoic secret here is that the more you practice this kind of introspection, the more you'll be able to see through the distractions and impulsive urges that cloud your judgment. This clarity will help you make decisions that are not just good in the short term, but truly meaningful in the long term. It's about living a life that is in alignment with your deepest values and goals, not just reacting to whatever happens to be in front of you at the moment. So, the next time you face a decision, take a step back and ask yourself, what's the truth behind this choice? What do I really want? And how does this decision help? Number 7. Practice empathy with role reversal. Let's talk about empathy for a moment, because it's something that's often easier said than done, right? We all know we should be more empathetic, especially when we're in the middle of a disagreement or facing a challenging situation with others. But how often do we truly put ourselves in someone else's shoes? In the realm of Stoicism, empathy is not just a nice-to-have, it's a powerful tool that can guide our decision-making and shape our interactions in profound ways. One of the most effective Stoic techniques for building empathy is something called role reversal. This is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of just considering your own feelings and reactions in a situation, you take a moment to step back and imagine how the other person might be feeling. How would you feel if you were in their position? What could be going on in their life that's influencing their behavior? This simple shift in perspective can transform a heated moment into an opportunity for understanding and growth. For example, think about a disagreement with a colleague. It's easy to feel frustrated, defensive, or even angry when things don't go your way. You're focused on your own point of view, your own feelings, and what you think is right. But if you practice role reversal, you might stop and ask yourself, what if I were them? What pressures are they facing? What might they be struggling with that I'm not seeing? Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, taught that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This quote is a powerful reminder that understanding others requires us to listen, to really take in their perspective, rather than just pushing our own agenda. When we listen with empathy, when we truly try to step into someone else's shoes, we're much more likely to respond thoughtfully and compassionately. Incorporating this into your daily life, whether it's in a personal relationship or a professional environment, can make a world of difference. Let's say you're having a disagreement with a friend or a coworker. Instead of jumping to conclusions or making assumptions about their motives, take a moment to think about what they might be going through. What do they need from you in this situation? What's driving their behavior? It's amazing how much more connected you'll feel to others when you make the effort to understand their point of view. When you practice role reversal, you also become more attuned to their needs and motivations. You start seeing the situation from a place of compassion rather than judgment, which leads to better decision-making and ultimately stronger relationships. Empathy, as practiced in Stoicism, isn't about agreeing with everyone or letting others walk all over you. It's about recognizing the shared humanity in every interaction. It's about seeing that behind every action there is a person with their own story, struggles, and dreams. When you use empathy as a lens for decision-making, you create a space for more thoughtful, fair, and kind responses. You stop reacting out of defensiveness or frustration, and instead you respond with a deeper understanding of where the other person is coming from. This, in turn, helps you build trust, foster collaboration, and create a more harmonious environment wherever you are. I encourage you to try it the next time you find yourself in a tense situation. Practice role reversal. Ask yourself, what would it be like to walk in their shoes? What might they be feeling that I'm missing? Not only will this help you become more empathetic, but it will also make you a stronger, more compassionate person. When you embrace this technique, you begin to see the world differently, not just through your own lens, but through the eyes of others, and in doing so, you cultivate the true spirit of modern Stoicism, where understanding and empathy guide your actions, and every decision becomes a chance to connect more deeply with those around you. Number 8. Let go of what doesn't matter. One of the most powerful Stoic secrets is the ability to focus on what truly matters and let go of everything else. In a world filled with distractions, fleeting desires, and trivial concerns, it's easy to get overwhelmed by things that don't contribute to our well-being or growth. Stoicism teaches us to carefully evaluate where we invest our time and energy, encouraging us to concentrate on actions that align with our higher purpose. In today's fast-paced world, you might find yourself struggling with an ever-growing to-do list, juggling countless tasks that seem urgent but ultimately don't contribute to your long-term goals. The Stoics remind us that in moments of overwhelm, it's crucial to assess what's truly important. A Stoic approach would have you identify those tasks that directly. To make this practice a part of your life, I encourage you to regularly assess your priorities. Ask yourself, what's most important right now? This simple question can help you eliminate unnecessary tasks and make space for what truly matters. It's about shedding those distractions, those things that seem pressing in the moment, but are ultimately inconsequential in the grand scheme of your life. The Stoics taught that by focusing only on what aligns with your values and purpose, you free yourself from the burdens of unimportant concerns. It's like cleaning out the clutter in your home. By clearing away the excess, you create space for the things that bring you peace, clarity, and growth. This process doesn't just simplify your life, it reduces stress and enhances your decision-making because each choice you make will be aligned with what you truly value. In practical terms, this might mean cutting out time spent on activities that drain you, whether it's responding to every trivial email, engaging in unnecessary social media scrolling, or agreeing to every commitment that doesn't serve your greater goals. By consciously choosing what to let go of, you free up mental and physical energy that can be put toward more meaningful endeavors. This Stoic approach ensures that your actions are deliberate, leading to a life that is not only more productive, but more fulfilling. When you let go of the distractions and focus on what's important, you find a sense of purpose and satisfaction in each action, no matter how small. Modern life constantly bombards us with demands for our attention, but the Stoic path is one of simplicity and clarity. By letting go of what doesn't matter, you make room for the things that align with your higher self. This approach helps you move through life with greater intention and peace, as every decision you make reflects your true priorities. Over time, this focus will not only improve your productivity, but also create a life that feels more in tune with your core values. So as you go about your day, remember the Stoic secret: what is truly important? And with that question, clear the path to the life that you want to live. shedding the distractions that no longer serve you. By doing so, you'll build a life that is purposeful, fulfilling, and focused on what truly matters. Number 9. Adapt to life's changes. In Stoicism, one of the most powerful principles is the ability to adapt to change. The Stoics taught that change is an inevitable part of life, and that resisting it only leads to frustration and suffering. Instead, they believed that true peace comes when we learn to embrace change as an opportunity for growth, rather than something to fear or fight against. Life constantly shifts, whether it's through career changes, personal challenges, or unexpected events, and how we respond to those shifts can determine our peace of mind and our ability to move forward with purpose. For instance, if you suddenly lose your job, it's easy to become overwhelmed with feelings of defeat or panic. But in the Stoic view, this is precisely the moment to pause and reframe the situation. Rather than succumbing to stress and uncertainty, a Stoic would see this as a chance to reassess their goals, explore new paths, and re-engage with life from a fresh perspective. To practice this Stoic principle, make it a habit to embrace change, whether it's something you've planned for or something that has caught you by surprise. Change, in all its forms, is part of life's natural ebb and flow, and rather than fighting against it, we should seek to understand how it can shape and strengthen us. Every time life throws a curveball, whether it's a change in relationships, health, or career, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this shift to improve my life or outlook? By adjusting your mindset and seeing change as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock, you cultivate resilience and adaptability. This is not about denying the discomfort change may bring. It's about recognizing that growth often comes in the moments that challenge us the most. The more you practice adapting to change, the more you'll find that you approach life's uncertainties with greater calmness and clarity, ready to navigate new possibilities with an open heart. In today's world, change is not just inevitable, it's constant. From rapid technological advances to shifts in the job market and unexpected personal transformations, change is something we all face. The ability to stay flexible in the face of these changes is a crucial skill. In fact, learning to navigate change gracefully can significantly improve decision-making, as it opens you up to new opportunities and perspectives that might not have been apparent initially. As you embrace change, you build a mindset rooted in modern Stoicism, one that isn't shaken by external circumstances but instead responds thoughtfully and deliberately. This approach doesn't just help you weather the storm of change, it empowers you to thrive amidst it. By practicing the Stoic art of adapting to life's changes, you develop a deeper sense of peace and resilience, leading to a more fulfilling and purposeful life. Each change, each challenge, is not an obstacle, but a chance for you to grow, adapt, and live more authentically. You've just made a meaningful move toward mastering the Stoic art of adapting to life's changes. Let us know you're embracing this mindset by dropping the comment, "Change builds inner strength." It's a simple yet powerful reminder that growth often comes through life's most unexpected turns. Keep showing up, your transformation is unfolding, one lesson at a time, and don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe for more timeless Stoic secrets to guide your journey. Number 10. Focus on peace, not chaos. One of the most powerful Stoic secrets is the practice of focusing on peace rather than chaos. The world around us is constantly filled with distractions, conflicts, and challenges. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of external events and feel as though we're at the mercy of the world. However, Stoicism offers us a liberating truth. We don't have to let the chaos around us control our inner peace. We have the power to maintain our peace by focusing on what is truly within our control, our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions. Let me share a personal story to illustrate this. I once found myself in a tense situation at work where a disagreement with a colleague quickly escalated into a heated argument. As the conversation intensified, I could feel my emotions rising. My heart started to race, and frustration bubbled up inside me. I was tempted to react impulsively, to fight back, and match the escalating tone of the conversation. But then I remembered the Stoic principle of maintaining inner calm, regardless of external turmoil. I paused, took a deep breath, and centered myself. Instead of diving into the chaos of the moment, I focused on how I could respond, not how the situation was unfolding. I chose to listen more attentively and respond thoughtfully, rather than react emotionally. That simple shift in focus changed everything. Even though the external situation hadn't calmed down, I felt a sense of peace inside. I wasn't swept away by the chaos anymore. I felt clearer, more composed, and able to think more rationally. The Stoics teach us that our true power doesn't lie in controlling the uncontrollable external world, but in controlling how we respond to it. Imagine for a moment how different your life might be if you could apply this Stoic principle in your own situations. How often do you find yourself overwhelmed by stress or anxiety when facing challenges, feeling as if everything is out of your control? What if, instead of letting those external forces dictate how you feel, you focused on how you respond to them? It's not always easy, I know. It takes practice. But by regularly focusing on what you can control, your thoughts and reactions, you can train yourself to shift your attention from the chaos to the peace within. The next time you find your emotions escalating, stop for a moment. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and remind yourself that while you can't control the event, you can control your response to it. When you do this, you begin to make decisions from a place of clarity and calm, rather than being driven by stress or anxiety. Over time, this practice will strengthen your ability to stay composed, and you will begin to make decisions rooted in peace, not chaos. Let me ask you, what is currently causing you stress or anxiety in your life? How might things change if you chose to focus on your inner peace instead of the external chaos? By practicing this, you'll discover that no matter what challenges come your way, you can face them with tranquility, knowing that the peace you seek comes from within. By incorporating Stoic decision-making practices into your daily life, you'll gain greater clarity and confidence in every choice you make. This deeper understanding will serve you as you continue your journey toward living with intention and purpose. The next section will explore how Stoic principles guide you in living a meaningful life, allowing you to stay grounded in your values and resilient in the face of challenges. Stoic principles for a meaningful life. In this final section, we'll focus on the Stoic principles that lead to a truly meaningful life. By mastering yourself and living with purpose, you can build a life that is not controlled by external factors, but rather by your own inner wisdom and strength. Let's explore how embracing these Stoic principles will empower you to live with clarity, courage, and resilience every day. Number 1. Master yourself to achieve freedom. Let's take a deep dive into something powerful: true freedom. It's a concept we often associate with external factors, getting the job we want, having financial security, or being free from the constraints of society. But the Stoics offer a radically different perspective on freedom. They teach us that real freedom comes not from external circumstances, but from self-mastery. It's not about what happens to you, but how you respond to it. In modern Stoicism, Freedom is achieved by mastering ourselves, by learning to control our emotions, desires, and actions. When we have control over ourselves, we no longer let our impulses or the pressures of society dictate our lives. Think about it for a second. How many times have you reacted impulsively, whether it's anger, impatience, or the desire to grab something that isn't aligned with your values? I know I've been there. It's easy to get swept away by those emotions or desires, but this is where self-mastery comes in. A Stoic approach would encourage you to take a step back in those moments and consciously decide how to respond. Instead of letting your emotions rule you, you take control, ensuring that your actions reflect your higher values and principles. This isn't about suppressing your emotions, but rather about not allowing them to control you. Start by setting intentions every day, intentions to act with mindfulness and self-discipline. Maybe you're faced with a stressful situation, or perhaps a temptation arises to take a shortcut that compromises your integrity. Instead of reacting right away, pause for a moment, reflect, choose a more deliberate course of action. It's in these small moments where you actively choose not to act on impulse that you begin to build self-mastery. Over time, this practice will become second nature. Each time you face an emotional reaction or a desire that pulls you away from your values, you'll have the inner strength to pause, reflect, and choose the path that aligns with your principles. The more you practice this kind of self-control, the more you build the strength to live a life that isn't dictated by outside events or momentary desires. Freedom, as the Stoics see it, is the ability to respond to life with calmness and purpose, no matter what comes your way. And that kind of freedom, freedom from being ruled by impulsive reactions, from the constant pursuit of fleeting pleasures, is something that no external circumstance can ever take away. As Epictetus wisely said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Think about that for a second. What if the only thing you truly needed to be free was the ability to control yourself and how you respond to the world? The more you master yourself, the more freedom you unlock in your life. So, how often do you let outside pressures or emotions control your decisions? What would it feel like to stop reacting and instead respond thoughtfully, in line with your values? The beauty of modern Stoicism is that it empowers you to do just that. The power is within you to choose your responses, to break free from the chains of impulse and external expectations, and to live a life rooted in true freedom. So, I challenge you today, pause, reflect, and choose your next action consciously. This is your path to mastering yourself, to gaining the freedom you've always sought. Number 2, live with purpose in every action. Living with purpose is not just a lofty ideal, it is the very essence of Stoic philosophy. Every decision, no matter how seemingly insignificant, should be made with full awareness of its purpose and alignment with your core values. This principle reminds us that life is not something to be drifted through passively, but something to be shaped consciously. A Stoic does not act on impulse or by the whims of external circumstances, but instead makes each decision with intention. Take, for instance, a situation where you're deciding how to spend your time. If you're considering a task or activity, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to my long-term goals, or is it merely a distraction? In a world filled with endless distractions, the ability to recognize what serves your purpose and what doesn't is an invaluable skill. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This quote emphasizes that purpose isn't just about setting goals. It's about aligning your actions with those goals at every moment of your life. To integrate purpose into your daily life, begin each day by setting clear intentions. When you wake up, take a moment to reflect on your values. What do you stand for? What do you want to achieve in the long run? Then, with those values in mind, prioritize the tasks and activities of your day. Whether it's at work, in your personal relationships, or in the quiet moments of your day, make sure that everything you do serves a larger, meaningful purpose. For example, if you're working on a project, don't just go through the motions. Ask yourself how this project can help you grow, or how it aligns with your broader life goals. It's not enough to simply fill your time. The Stoic secret lies in making your time count, by infusing it with meaning and direction. As you practice this intentional approach, you'll start noticing that your days feel more focused and fulfilling. When your actions are aligned with your values and goals, every step you take feels more purposeful. Rather than getting lost in the noise of external demands or the pull of fleeting distractions, you'll find yourself moving steadily toward your greater aspirations. The Stoics believed that living with purpose leads to a life of contentment, as it helps you avoid the regrets and discontentment that often come with aimlessly drifting through life. This alignment of action and intention makes you the architect of your own life, rather than a passive observer. Over time, living purposefully will deepen your sense of fulfillment and provide clarity on the direction you want to take in life. In our modern, fast-paced world, distractions are abundant, and it's easy to fall into the trap of reacting to external pressures without considering their alignment with our personal goals. But by embracing the Stoic practice of living with purpose, you can reclaim your time and energy. Whether it's focusing on meaningful work, spending quality time with loved ones, or engaging in activities that nurture your mind and body, living with intention brings clarity and control to your life. Every moment becomes an opportunity to act with purpose, making sure that your actions are not dictated by others, but are instead driven by your deepest values and long-term aspirations. By adopting this mindset, you unlock Stoic secrets to a life that is not only fulfilling, but also directed, purposeful, and aligned with your true self. With this approach, you begin to see life not as a series of random events, but as a continuous journey where each step is meaningful and contributes to your ultimate vision of who you wish to become. Number 3. Respond to challenges with reason. One of the most powerful tools offered by modern Stoicism is the ability to respond to challenges with reason rather than emotion. In today's fast-paced, often chaotic world, it's all too easy to let emotions like fear, frustration, or anger dictate our responses when we encounter difficulties. Whether it's an unexpected setback, a difficult conversation, or a personal crisis, these emotions can push us toward rash decisions that we may later regret. Stoicism, however, teaches us to step back, take a moment, and evaluate the situation with a clear, rational mind. Rather than rushing into action based on impulse, Stoicism encourages us to pause and reflect before responding. Think about a time when you faced a tough decision. Perhaps a challenging situation at work, a personal dilemma, or an emotional conflict. In that moment, the natural reaction might have been to react immediately, perhaps even defensively. It's common to want to quickly resolve the situation, but the Stoic response would be to take a breath, step away from the immediate emotional charge, and evaluate what is truly at stake. By practicing this, we allow ourselves the space to make decisions that are measured, logical, and ultimately aligned with our true values. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, shared this profound piece of wisdom. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This quote reminds us that obstacles aren't simply things that hinder us, they can actually be the stepping stones for our personal growth. It's how we respond to life's challenges that truly shapes our character. When faced with an obstacle, it's crucial to pause and assess the situation calmly, focusing on long-term outcomes rather than being overwhelmed by short-term emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a moment to think through your options, considering the possible consequences of each path you might take. This practice of pausing to reflect allows us to avoid making snap judgments that could lead to regret or missed opportunities. Imagine that in every challenging moment, instead of allowing yourself to be overtaken by immediate emotions, you took the time to pause, breathe, and think clearly. This practice not only helps you make better decisions, but over time, it builds resilience. You begin to form a mindset that enables you to face difficulties with a calm and composed approach. It's not about avoiding emotions. Emotional control and rational thinking become a natural part of how you approach challenges. With regular practice, you'll find yourself making better decisions, regardless of how intense the situation may seem. Stoicism doesn't promise an easy life, but it offers a framework for handling life's inevitable ups and downs with wisdom and strength. By consistently applying reason to each challenge you encounter, you'll navigate obstacles with clarity, making choices that align with your long-term goals and values rather than being swept away by temporary emotional responses. Through modern Stoicism, you can begin to develop the clarity and emotional control needed to not just survive challenges, but to thrive in them. As you embrace this approach, you'll find yourself becoming more resilient, more self-aware, and more capable of handling whatever life throws your way. You'll make decisions that reflect your true self, decisions that are driven by your rational mind and aligned with your personal growth, instead of letting momentary emotions steer you off course. By practicing Stoicism, you gain the strength to meet life's obstacles not as barriers, but as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Number 4. Learn from successes and mistakes. In life, we often view success as the ultimate goal and failure as something to avoid. But what if I told you that Stoicism teaches us to embrace both equally? Successes and mistakes are both valuable teachers, providing us with the insights needed to improve and grow. As a Stoic, failure isn't seen as a personal defeat. Instead, it's an opportunity for reflection, learning, and bettering ourselves. Take a moment and think about a time when you didn't quite achieve what you hoped for. Maybe you missed an important deadline or fell short of a personal goal. How did you respond? Did you get stuck in disappointment, or did you reflect on what went wrong and what could have been done differently? The Stoic approach to failure is simple. Don't let it define you, but let it guide you. When you experience failure, instead of getting discouraged, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And what could I have done differently? This shift in perspective allows you to learn from your mistakes rather than dwell on them. I remember a story about a friend of mine who had been working toward a promotion at his job for months. He put in long hours, made countless sacrifices, and did everything he thought was right. But when the promotion was given to someone else, he was crushed. He could have let that failure define him, feeling angry and defeated. But instead, he took a Stoic approach. He reflected on the entire process. What did I do well, and where did I go wrong? He realized that while he had worked hard, he hadn't communicated his achievements clearly to his boss, and he hadn't developed key relationships with other team members who played a role in the decision. By recognizing these areas for improvement, He was able to adjust his approach the next time, and months later, when another opportunity arose, he not only got the promotion, but felt more confident and prepared. Now, I want you to think about your own experiences. How do you respond to failure? When something doesn't go as planned, do you focus on the setback, or do you reflect and learn from it? The Stoic secrets to handling both success and failure lie in your ability to learn from every experience. When you achieve success, take time to reflect on what worked well and how you can replicate that success in the future. Similarly, when you face a failure, don't see it as the end of the road, see it as a lesson. Analyze the situation, identify patterns, and figure out what you could have done differently. Over time, this process will help you grow into a more resilient, adaptable, and thoughtful individual. The key message here is that both success and failure are valuable. They each provide an opportunity for learning and growth. Every experience, whether it's a win or a loss, is a stepping stone toward becoming a better version of yourself. So, the next time you face a challenge, don't just focus on the outcome. Reflect, learn, and use the insights gained to inform your next move. By doing so, you'll turn every experience into a chance to grow, building not just your skills, but a mindset that is ready to face whatever comes next. The more you practice this, the more you'll uncover the Stoic secrets of resilience and continuous improvement. Remember, it's not about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it and using it to move forward stronger and wiser. When it comes to learning from both your wins and your setbacks, your mindset makes all the difference. If today's message about turning every experience, success or failure into a chance for growth resonates with you, I invite you to take a meaningful first step right now. Drop a comment below saying, "I choose to grow from every experience," to show our community that you're committed to learning, reflecting, and moving forward with wisdom. Number 5. Control your life, not external factors. Let's be real for a moment. Life can feel like it's constantly throwing things at us. The weather isn't cooperating. You get stuck in traffic, or someone cuts you off in line. We've all been there, right? And it's so easy to let those external factors mess with our day and our mood. But here's the thing. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control what happens outside of us, but we always have control over how we respond to it. Think about it. The weather, the traffic, and even the actions of others are all outside of our control. Yet, how often do we let these things dictate our happiness, our peace of mind, or our sense of success? The Stoics, especially thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, emphasize that our true power lies not in controlling external events, but in controlling our internal response to them. So, what would it be like if you stopped letting the outside world dictate your mood or actions? What if you could rise above life's disruptions and focus solely on how you respond to them? For instance, think about being stuck in traffic, something we've all experienced. It's frustrating, sure, but instead of letting that frustration consume you, what if you decided to use that time productively? Maybe you could listen to an audiobook or a podcast, practice mindfulness, or simply use that time to reflect. How much more peaceful would your life be if you could take control of your reaction instead of letting the situation control you? That's what modern Stoicism is all about. Making a conscious choice to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, and your responses. It's about shifting your mindset so that no matter what happens around you, your inner calm remains undisturbed. I know it's not always easy. When life feels chaotic or unfair, it's hard to remember that we have a choice. But the more you practice this mindset, the more natural it becomes. Imagine approaching every challenge with the understanding that it's not the external event that matters, but how you choose to react. When you face setbacks, whether it's a stressful work situation, a disagreement with someone, or a delay in your plans, take a moment to pause and reassess. Ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my values and goals? It's this practice of pausing, reassessing, and choosing your response that builds resilience, inner peace, and true control over your life. Think about the freedom that comes from realizing that you can't be shaken by external factors. When you stop letting things outside of you dictate your emotional state, you start to feel more at peace, more grounded, and more in control of your own happiness. So I challenge you, the next time you face an external challenge, pause, reflect. What's within your control? How can you use this moment to strengthen your inner calm instead of letting the world disrupt it? This is the power of modern Stoicism. It's not about changing the world around you, but changing how you interact with it. And when you do that, you'll find that the external world no longer has the power to disturb your inner peace. It's in your hands. Number 6. Move forward with determination. One of the most important Stoic secrets is that true success doesn't rely on talent or luck, but on persistence. Stoicism teaches that progress comes from consistent daily effort, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Life can feel like a slow climb, and the road to success often seems full of obstacles, but the Stoic mindset reminds us that every small step forward matters. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly when he said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This quote illustrates how adversity can become a path to growth. Whether you're working to learn a new skill, build your career, or improve your personal life, setbacks are inevitable. A Stoic would encourage you to keep moving forward, not because the results will be instant, but because your daily effort is valuable. The key is persistence, staying committed, even if progress feels slow. When you pursue a long-term goal, such as mastering a new skill or achieving a career milestone, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by obstacles. Progress can seem slow, and setbacks may appear to derail your efforts. However, the Stoic approach teaches you to focus on daily action rather than the distant end result. Break down large goals into smaller, manageable tasks. Even if the progress feels insignificant, completing these tasks daily helps build momentum. Over time, these small efforts accumulate, bringing you closer to your goal, even if the progress isn't immediately obvious. The Stoic mindset reminds us that the journey is just as important as the destination, and the effort you make each day will eventually lead to success. You will face moments of frustration when progress seems non-existent or setbacks feel like steps backward. It's during these times that the Stoic principle of persistence becomes vital. Remember, Stoicism isn't about instant success. It's about showing up every day and putting in the work. Trust that consistent effort will eventually yield meaningful results. When setbacks occur, a Stoic would advise you to stay focused on the process and not be discouraged by temporary challenges. Setbacks are part of the journey, not a reason to quit. By adopting this attitude, you build resilience, and your persistence not only brings you closer to your goal, but strengthens your ability to overcome obstacles. This consistent effort builds your character and makes you more determined on your path. In today's world, where we often expect instant results, persistence may seem counterintuitive. But focusing on consistent effort, even when progress feels slow, can help take the pressure off needing quick success. By breaking down your goals into smaller tasks, You remove the burden of expecting everything to happen at once, and instead you focus on the process, where true growth happens. Stoicism encourages you to see challenges as opportunities for growth. Moving forward with determination, even when the results aren't immediate, helps align your actions with your long-term goals. Each day of consistent effort brings you closer to becoming the person you want to be, and the more you practice persistence, the more it becomes part of your character. Incorporating this Stoic mindset into your life helps you make steady progress toward your goals. It also gives you the patience and strength to keep going when things get tough. By prioritizing persistence over immediate success, you shift from seeking quick results to embracing the journey of continuous improvement. Each small action you take builds the foundation for long-term success. So, as you face challenges, remember the Stoic secret. Persistence is about the consistency of your efforts, not the speed of progress. Stay determined, keep moving forward, and trust that your persistence will lead you to success. Number 7. Start your day with purpose. In modern Stoicism, one of the simplest yet most powerful practices is starting each day with intention and clarity. The Stoics believe that how you begin your day shapes not only your mindset, but also your actions throughout the day. It's all too easy to jump into the rush of daily life, checking emails, answering texts, or diving straight into work without a second thought. However, by taking a moment each morning to pause and reflect, you can set a purposeful tone for the day that aligns your actions with your values. Imagine waking up and instead of scrambling to meet the demands of the world, you take a deep breath and remind yourself of what truly matters. As Marcus Aurelius put it in his Meditations, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. By starting with these reflections, you give yourself a sense of clarity that will carry through the day, allowing you to act with purpose rather than react out of habit or stress. To put this into practice, consider making it a routine to spend the first few minutes of your day in focused reflection. This could be a brief meditation, journaling, or simply taking a few deep breaths. The key is to set your mind on your goals, your values, and how you can contribute positively to the world around you. This habit doesn't have to be long or complicated. Even a few moments spent in quiet thought can provide direction and clarity, grounding you in what truly matters. Instead of rushing out the door with a to-do list racing through your mind, you align your day with your deeper intentions, setting yourself up for a more mindful, intentional life. The beauty of this practice is that it helps you approach each task with purpose, ensuring that everything you do aligns with your core values. By starting your day with purpose, you are not only enhancing your productivity, but also creating a sense of fulfillment. The Stoics believe that we are responsible for our actions and attitudes, regardless of external circumstances, and by intentionally focusing on your purpose each morning, you take control of your own direction. Whether your day is filled with work, family commitments, or personal projects, you can approach it with a sense of meaning and intention. This is especially important in a world that often values speed over reflection. But the Stoic approach teaches us that true progress comes from aligning our actions with our values rather than merely reacting to the demands of the day. By taking that first step each morning to focus on what matters most, you set a productive and fulfilling tone for the day, ensuring that it's not just another series of tasks to complete, but an opportunity to live according to your deepest beliefs. So as you wake up tomorrow, take a moment to pause, reflect, and set your intentions. This simple yet transformative practice of starting the day with purpose can change the way you experience the world, leading you toward a life that is both meaningful and aligned with the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Number 8. Accepting what is and adapting to change. One of the most powerful Stoic secrets is the ability to accept what is and adapt to change with grace. Life is full of uncertainties, and change is something we can't escape, whether it's a new job, a change in your personal life, or unexpected challenges that arise. The Stoics knew this well and taught us to embrace change rather than resist it. Think about it. How many times have you faced a sudden shift, maybe a new responsibility at work, a sudden move, or a change in your routine, and found yourself overwhelmed or frustrated? I've been there. A few years ago, I was given a significant change in my work responsibilities. At first, I wanted to resist. I didn't feel prepared and the uncertainty felt uncomfortable. But then, I remembered the Stoic teaching. We can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. So, instead of fighting it, I decided to shift my mindset. I reframed the situation as an opportunity to grow and learn new skills. Instead of complaining about the change, I focused on adapting to it and finding the positives in the new challenge. It was not easy at first, but slowly I started to feel more at ease. That's the beauty of Stoic thinking. It teaches you that you don't have to have control over everything, but you do have control over how you respond. A Stoic would remind you that change is inevitable, and resisting it only causes unnecessary stress. By accepting change and reframing it as an opportunity for growth, you not only adapt more easily, but also build resilience in the face of life's challenges. Think about how you react when change is thrust upon you. Do you resist it and feel stressed, or do you see it as a chance to learn and grow? Each time change comes your way, practice acceptance. Reframe the situation in your mind and tell yourself, "This is an opportunity for me to become stronger." When you practice acceptance, you cultivate peace in your life, even in the midst of uncertainty. The next time change comes knocking, remember this Stoic secret. Embrace it, adapt to it, and see it as a path toward personal growth. With time, this practice will help you handle any challenge with calm and resilience, turning even the most unsettling situations into chances for personal development. So, I ask you, how might your life change if you started accepting change with grace? How might you grow from it if you approached each shift with an open mind and a willingness to adapt? By practicing this Stoic mindset, you'll find that you can remain calm, focused, and even excited about the opportunities that come with every change. Number 9. Build courage and resilience. Let's dive into one of the most empowering ideas in modern Stoicism: courage. Now, courage isn't about being fearless. Far from it. Courage is about choosing to act despite fear. It's about acknowledging the fear but still moving forward, taking the steps that align with your values and goals. In Stoic philosophy, courage is one of the key virtues that help us navigate life's toughest challenges with strength, wisdom, and integrity. Think about it. Life isn't always smooth sailing. We all face challenges, tough conversations, or difficult truths that we would rather avoid. But courage is what allows you to confront those fears, face those uncomfortable moments, and still stand tall. Imagine a situation where you need to speak up for yourself or have an uncomfortable conversation. Maybe you're afraid of how it will go, or maybe you fear judgment or rejection. But with courage, you don't shy away from the discomfort. You lean into it because you know that doing the right thing, standing up for yourself or having that hard conversation, is more important than avoiding discomfort. As Marcus Aurelius once said, The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When you choose to face fear head-on, you not only overcome the obstacle in front of you, but you also build resilience. To practice courage, you need to start small. Look at the areas of your life where fear is holding you back. It could be something as simple as speaking up in a meeting or addressing an issue you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, commit to taking small, courageous steps. Every time you face a fear, big or small, you strengthen your ability to confront bigger challenges. This consistent practice builds resilience, which is another Stoic virtue. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back from setbacks. It's about developing the mental and emotional strength to keep going, no matter how hard the road gets. The more courage you practice, the more resilient you become. Think about your own life. What fears have been holding you back? Have there been situations where you've avoided acting because you were afraid of what might happen? It's okay to feel that fear, it's human. But what would happen if, instead of running from it, you leaned in? What if you chose to face those fears with courage, taking action even when it feels uncomfortable? Over time, you'll start to notice that the fear loses its grip on you. With each courageous decision, no matter how small, you'll become more confident in your ability to face life's challenges. In doing so, you'll develop a deeper sense of resilience, the kind of resilience that allows you to rise up no matter what life throws at you. This is where the power of modern Stoicism comes into play. By practicing courage and resilience daily, you build the mental strength needed to not only survive but thrive in the face of adversity. Life isn't easy, but by consistently practicing courage, you're training yourself to be unshaken by fear. So, I ask you, where can you start practicing courage today? What small steps can you take to confront your fears head-on? The more you embrace courage in your everyday life, the more resilient you'll become. And remember, as the Stoics teach us, every challenge is an opportunity to grow. The more you face, the stronger you'll become. Don't let fear stand in your way. Choose courage and watch yourself transform. If you've made it this far in the video, I want to challenge you to do something small but powerful. Comment "Iron Courage" below. It's a bold way to show that you're not just watching, but actively living the deeper teachings of modern Stoicism. By writing those words, you're affirming your commitment to facing your fears, building resilience, and choosing growth over comfort. So tell me, what's one area of your life where you're willing to move forward with courage? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for walking this path with me, and I hope your courage becomes one of the greatest secrets of Stoicism. Let's explore the ultimate truth together. Number 10. Cultivate psychological freedom. In a world where external circumstances constantly shift and challenge us, Stoicism, but a Stoic remains grounded in their internal sense of purpose, focusing on how they can respond with clarity, not on the circumstances themselves. This is the Stoic secret. By cultivating control over your thoughts and emotions, you free yourself from the chaos of life's inevitable ups and downs. To practice psychological freedom, begin by regularly reminding yourself that external events do not have the power to control your emotional state. This can be a powerful shift in perspective. The next time you face a challenge, a difficult conversation, a missed opportunity, or an unexpected obstacle, pause and reflect. Instead of reacting immediately with frustration, disappointment, or anger, take a deep breath and choose how you will respond. The key is recognizing that your emotional state is yours to control, no matter what is happening externally. By doing so, you create a space between the stimulus, the event, and your response, your emotions, which allows you to act with greater thoughtfulness and composure. Over time, this practice of mental discipline strengthens your emotional fortitude. Just as physical muscles grow stronger with exercise, your ability to maintain psychological freedom will grow as you regularly practice this self-control. Each time you face a setback or stressor and consciously choose to respond with calmness and clarity, you fortify your resilience and your ability to maintain your inner peace. This becomes second nature, and you'll find yourself less shaken by life's uncertainties. The Stoic secrets of psychological freedom allow you to navigate through challenging situations with grace and poise, no matter how turbulent the outside world may be. In modern life, with its constant demands and pressures, cultivating psychological freedom is more important than ever. We live in a world that's always trying to push us into emotional reactions, whether it's the constant flow of news, the stresses of work, or personal relationships. But as a Stoic, you are not bound by these external pressures. Instead, you have the power to choose your response. When you embrace this approach, you create a life where you can respond to challenges not with panic or frustration, but with a calm, centered mind. By fostering psychological freedom, you protect your emotional well-being and increase your capacity for resilience. This doesn't mean you will never experience difficult emotions, but it means you will have the tools to manage them effectively. As you continue to practice this Stoic principle, you'll find that your life becomes more peaceful, more focused, and more purposeful, giving you the freedom to pursue your goals without being derailed by the inevitable hurdles along the way. As we wrap up today's video, remember that the wisdom of Stoicism can truly transform your life. By applying modern Stoicism to your daily routine, you'll learn how to focus on the present, master your emotions, and make decisions based on your core values. These Stoic principles empower you to turn challenges into opportunities for growth, helping you live with purpose, peace, and resilience. So, I encourage you to start applying these Stoic secrets today and watch how they shape your life in powerful ways. I'd love to hear how you plan to use Stoicism in your own life. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic Secrets for more valuable insights to guide you on your path to personal growth and happiness.